to Clover TV, where you are here and we are here. How is everyone? Are you good? It's been a while. Tell us what you're doing. Tell us what's up. If any of my Florida people, my new ones are here, let me know. Sound off. I see Michelle, you are here. That's cool. Hello, Jaunty. Hello, Wim. Hello, Serenity. Mighty Onions. Hello. I love onions. I love onions so much. Artemis, hi. Oh, wow. Okay. What are we doing today? We're doing a lot of stuff. So I'm going to wait to get into the nitty-gritty. Until we get more people collected. Usually takes a little bit. How's the sound? Sound, video? Good? What? You guys are all hanging out right now? Oh my god. I love you guys so much. Gabe loves it too, whatever. I'll let him speak for him.
I don't love anyone.
I got into Geek Girl Con in Seattle and it's my biggest con so far and I'm excited.
Nice.
Awesome!
Good job.
Proud of you. Good job. Hi, Pocknock. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know it sounds good. Well, geez, now I feel flustered that everybody's watching. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Gabe's here too.
Here.
Obviously. He's floating head. He's a floating head. Okay. Let me switch over to this. So, who's Mighty Onions then? Do I know you, or are you new? Mighty Onions, who are you? I must know. Also, I can try to call you guys by your real names if you want. Otherwise, I'll go by aliases. Just because. Soggy's here.
Soggy.
Oh, Mike, you're Mighty Onions? Yes! Oh my god. That's amazing. Oh no. Soggy, that bunny scared the fennec fox. No. It's just a baby bunny. He's not threatening. Come on. Okay. You guys don't plan to watch every stream we do you? That's like 4 times a week. That's too much. Even for me, that's too much. Let's see. Let me check our Discord real quick. Alright. So for anybody that wants to join our Discord, I don't know if our link that's always popping up because of Moobot is still accurate. So I'm gonna pop a new one in here. No. Unlimited. Unlimited. Never expire. Never give up. Never surrender. That's true, Serenity, but today is Tuesday. For anybody that wants our Discord link, I just popped it into the chat. Hello, Jamie. How have you been? It does feel like a Monday. I'll give you that, Serenity. It really does. We just got back last night at about, was it 2 a.m.?
Yeah.
Yeah. We got back last night at 2 a.m. From Thupacon. And I'll let you know how that was in a minute. Mixed feelings on that one. Yeah. Similar to, remember what I said about Heroes? Kind of similar to that. We'll go into that in a minute, though. Oh, really, Artemis? That's great. Yeah, so right now, I actually think I started this series after we changed our Twitch schedule, so then it's... So I don't think you guys have actually seen me work on any of these yet, but... the Fortified Flora series that I'm doing is basically just flowers coming out of medieval buildings and stuff. But we will get to these in a little bit because I want to explain how to do a series, how to go about a series if you want to do an illustration series. Okay, so Vegging it up. How have you two fat pounds? Not vegging it up. We have been too busy. So much so that I'm starting to fall behind on my commissions again, which I'm kind of sad about, but hey, what are you gonna do? You know, 4 a.m. Wednesday for me. Oh, geez, Serenity, that means you're 2 days behind. That's okay. That's okay. It is okay. I know you've got that sleep thing. How is that, by the way? Have you fixed that? Is that going better? Fixing your sleep schedule stuff and all your, the sleep med thing? A bloomin' onion. True that. The one I posted tonight with the, there's my Minnesota. There's the Minnesota. With the peonies. Yeah, that made me think of bloomin' onions, and I was like, oh man. Because sometimes they look like one when you've got them, like, when they're half bloomed, like this guy. Oh, those look like onion peels, and I'm like, nah, I want it. Galvasaur, when you yawn, I yawn. Sleepy day.
Sorry.
Which is really weird, because Gabe just came off this really intense caffeine high, and I was like, oh man, I hope he's this lit for the, the stream, and he's losing it. You got coffee left, don't you?
Yeah, I'm still drinking it.
Yeah, get it
I was writing some shit.
Get it out!
I was writing some things. I was distracted.
I also like deep fried pickle slices. Fried pickles are so good. Oh my god, I love them. Will I be selling prints of these? Eventually, yeah. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna see where these take me. And if you make usually like 4 to 6 of something, you can do a nice little print pack. So up until the point where I get enough of these to necessitate a book, which I may or may not get to, but either way, I can always sell like a little print pack of them. So just remember that all the things you make, it's good to think about them, first of all, if you're going to be a freelancer, to think of them like a product, because it's going to be a lot easier to keep yourself on track, to treat it like a project, and to also have a formula, which I'm going to go into in a minute. But then, you can have kind of a final goal to shoot for. It makes it easier to actually go about doing the pieces. Otherwise, if you're kind of, I don't know what I want it to be, it could be this, it could be that. A lot of the time, too, projects will have different, Mike, you don't have to subscribe. Okay, you get to see this little stupid gimmick I have, if I can find him. Subshrub, where are you? Hold on, I gotta find my little man. Hold on. Every time somebody subscribes, I have this little thing I do. You didn't have to subscribe, jeez. Also, you guys forgot to tell me, did you want me to call you by your names or by your aliases? Oh my god, he's right here. Okay, for those people who are here and new, this is my sub shrub, okay? When you subscribe, you get a wish from the sub shrub. Whilst I rub his shrub nubs, you make a wish, alright? And he comes with a little melancholy clover, which is super melancholy, like, to the max. Anyway, dun, 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 make a wish. Ooh, sub shrub, rub the nubs of the sub shrub. There you go. I hope you made a wish. This was only for Mike, Mighty Onions. Thank you. Your wish will come true in 8 to 12 weeks. Conditions apply. Nightshade's here. Nightshade. So, Nightshade, I did one of your commissions, as I showed you last time. I've yet to do the other one. Probably take a little bit still. So I'm halfway there. Deep fried Twinkie the other day. It was meh. Has anybody had the deep fried Snickers bars? I mean, Minnesota's big on these during our state fair. We do deep fried everything, and it's ridiculous. But I never got to have one of those, and I always wanted to. It's true. Support. Hello, Tragic. Welcome. Sub Shrub. Do we still have the Ask Kitty? Yeah. Where is it? Shoot.
I haven't seen her in a while.
Oh no, where is it though? I know I've got it around somewhere. So we have this other stupid gimmick, because gimmicks are fun, right? Nothing's stupid on Twitch. Where it's like a Hello Kitty 8-ball, and I have people ask it questions, and it's really snarky about stuff usually, but it's fun. It's one of those things. I'll have to find it. Since we moved, I don't remember where I put it. So I'll have to re-find it again. Ooh. And Gabe has something on his channel too, so you'll have to go to his for that one. Rub the nubs of the shrub. Hello, Kinetic Pop. So, like, if you guys want me to call you your real names, which I remember, by the way, let me know. Otherwise, you know. Oh, Sagi, I'm so glad you're here. Oh, that's crazy. Void Marble? That's nutty. Oh, deep fried ice cream's so good. Oh my god. Sup, Shrub? Fire Seal, hi! Why is it always that Mexican restaurants do the deep fried ice cream? Is that their thing? Is that your thing?
It's like a Puerto Rican thing, I think.
Puerto Rican? That's not Mexican.
No.
It's so good. I love that crap. Oh my god. Okay. Life is good. Try curry. Where is it going? Yeah, curry's pretty damn good. However, I can only have which kind? Japanese kind?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the other kind, the Indian kind, tastes like Windex to me. And I don't know why. Gabe had told me that some people taste Windex because of saffron or something. Wasn't it?
I don't know
Something
if it
like
was
that.
something like that.
There's some spice that makes some people taste like chemically, you know, and I taste Windex. Like, straight up, it's got to be like Windex, but I don't know. The Japanese curry for me is really good, though. I like that stuff. Oh, good, Mike. Good. Oh, Katie Struck is here. Hello, Katie. So, Tragic, you're Ramon. Mighty Onions is Mike. Trace Lobos. Did I say that right? Trace? Is it Trace Lobo? Trace?
Lobos?
Traces? I don't know. Should Trece? I forgot to ask you, Michelle, what it was actually. Like, how you like to pronounce it. That's Michelle. Am I missing anybody else who's here from the Florida group? Connect Pop is Alex. Haha! Oh, deep fried Reese's. I did want to try that too. Oh my god. Cilantro? No, I love cilantro.
Mm-hmm.
In Indian curry, though, I think it's saffron. I like cilantro. I think cilantro is the one some people taste it and it's soapy. It tastes like soap. But I think...
You keep saying cilantro.
Cilantro?
Cilantro.
Cilantro. Okay. Cilantro. Whatever. How is the con going for you? Alright, so we can go into this. Trek S Lobos? So it's not Trace? Tress? Trek? Sounded it for me, Mike. Come on. Artemis is Sarah. Hello! Kashmiri. Oh. I don't know their actual names. I'm so sorry. I don't know curry that well. We're like acquaintances. I don't know. No, I knew that. 13 wolves. I knew Lobo because of Lobo was wolf. But it's Trace, right? Trace or Traces.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, because I took Spanish. I know some stuff, but Traces, right?
I don't think that's a word. Treces? No, that's not a word.
Trece?
I don't think that's a word. That's not a word.
Y'all, I'm lost. Trace Lobos. Trace Lobos. Yeah, Traces. Yeah. Trace S Lobos.
13 lobos. God damn it, it is.
Yeah. Mr. Mexico over here. What's going on?
Because he kept saying Trace, and I'm like, that's not a word.
No, I know. Traces Lobos.
Trece. Yeah. Trece is 13.
Come on, give me a break. Hi, Sketch Cloud. Okay. How was FloridaCon? Well, SuperCon in Florida, not a good moneymaker. We actually broke even after I counted stuff, which is nice because I really thought we weren't gonna. Something was up with the crowd. It was really, really interesting because, we had been told this con was going to be good, and maybe they were talking about MegaCon, the people we had talked to in the past, but not a moneymaker. But there were tons of people, which was very strange. And we go to so many cons that we can usually tell, good lot of people is going to be a lot of profit. And usually a 4-day con is always going to make you profit. Almost always. But for some reason, this one was just no energy in the people for the most part. Like, a lot of the attendees were just zoned out, zombied. Gabe and I think it's the heat melting people's brains over time. I don't know. But also, I never want to go back to Florida. Guys, I'm sorry. Unless I get a real good reason to go. Holy crap. I don't know how you guys live in that. Seriously, I would much rather live in dry heat, like hundreds and up dry heat, than that humidity. That is insane. So much respect for you guys. Seriously, because I can't do it. I have never encountered like that sort of situation where now I feel like I've hit hard con mode, like difficult, because it's like I thought I'd have difficulty dealing with a lot of people, or I thought it would be like, dealing with, the highs and lows of con. No, my hard mode, turns out it's actually temperature, like when going to a con, because we had 6 luggages. We were just banging around that had to go back and forth and all that stuff from the hotel, which was like 3 blocks. Something like that. It was like 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
But in that like 90% humidity, I can't even. And then we get back here. Oh my God. It's so nice. You guys, I love where I live so much. I don't mean to be negative about Florida, but holy crap, it's not for me. I have mad respect though for you guys. Seriously. Oh. Seriously too, it's so expensive down there. So expensive. Come up here. Our rent's $620, and we have like a 2-bedroom, and it's great. It's awesome. Everything's green and lush and pretty and like really moderate temperature. It's great. I don't know. Yeah, Saturday was dead, Alex. It totally was. I don't understand. It's really weird. It was hot and too many drugs. I'm guessing, like, I got so many people just talking to me casually about pot and everything. I even had a guy give me an edible, like, randomly. It was crazy. You guys just, you're all too stoned. And I wouldn't usually say that's a bad thing, but when you're not spending money, it's kind of a bad thing. Yeah, they seem scared to spend money, yeah. Oh, Katie, you didn't do well either? Have you been there before? Have you done it a previous year? Was it okay in previous years? Oh, my Kefmas don't want to be here either. Oh. Hi, Buggles! Welcome! Oh, Nightshade, right? That's interesting, Buggles. Yeah, I've heard so many people don't like humidity, so. Mad Max World? Yeah! Michelle, yeah. Seriously. It feels like you walk into a wet fart every time you go outside, and it's smelled. Okay? Florida has a funk to it. I
think it was just the area we were in.
It might have been the area, but there was a smell. Was it Saturday night or Sunday night?
It was like we were at a carnival.
It was Sunday night because we were coming back with all our luggage, and it was like seawater, hot seawater. Jasminian Devil, thank you for the follow. It was hot seawater mixed with crap and garbage.
It was literally, that's because there was garbage in the area. But then there was...
But it wasn't garbage the other nights. It was just that night. It smelled totally different. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
I had never smelled anything like that. And I've been to New York. New York is the worst smelling state I've ever been to. However, Florida, I love you, but second for worst smell. But it has so many good people in it. So that was the saving grace of our trip. Like, if nothing else, if we go back to Florida forever, for any reason at all, it's going to be for you people that are there, because you guys really made it worth it. 100%. We were talking about it, and we were saying if you guys weren't there, that trip would have been a total waste. Total bust. Horrible. Like, not even worth it. But seriously, all you Florida peeps we met are amazing. Like, I can't even express that, because usually when we go to a con, we don't meet too many new people. Maybe it's like one or two.
Mm-hmm.
But to meet an entire new group was amazing. You know, and the fact, Katie, that I got to meet you in person too,
Oh yeah.
that was cool as hell. Sorry I didn't stop back again. Sunday ended up being actually a little busy at the end. That was weird. I didn't expect that.
I think the weird thing is usually like there aren't big groups of people that like big groups of artists like you guys have out there. Usually it's like, you know, there'll be one or two people that live in the area, but y'all.
Oh, Ramon says there's a treatment plant in that area.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense. Someone turned the switch on for that night. I don't like to sweat unless I'm prepared for it. I'm at the gym. I'm working my butt off. If I'm sitting and sweating, I feel like a fat ass. And if it's just because of heat, that's even worse. And then I don't even want to work out to sweat more. Oh, I want to be in control of that. Exactly, Serenity. I feel you. Seawater and garbage. That's what it smelled like, yeah. Which equaled a poop smell overall. It was really weird. Sorry, I'm catching up in chat. Sniggle's here! Sniggle! You know I'm Papa Clover. You're talking to Gabe, you saying sorry to Gabe because Gabe's your mama. I'm your papa. Gabe's the soft, I'm the hard. You know that. What are we working on tonight?
People were stealing from their tables?
What? Where?
Were they at their table?
What? No, really? Oh no. Hey Chrissy. Yeah, go ahead and lurk. Florida was great for the people. The money, and the state itself, But the people, yeah. Yeah. Everyone's her mom. That could get difficult. Serenity, I would love to come to Germany. However, Gabe and I were talking about it. I think our next stop is Scotland. Because Ireland was dope, England was great, but I really want to see Scotland too. Okay, so what did I have on the agenda? Let's talk about Florida, talk about an illustration series, and... Oh! Inspiration stuff. Yeah. Tape down her enamel pins because they kept walking away. Okay, did she have backs on her enamel pins though? Like, I feel like you should have a big chunky back on it, like a backing board too. But yeah, I could see people stealing that shit.
Or I guess I wonder like how she had them set up.
Yeah, because usually you want anything liftable, as in theftable, that's tiny, to be closer to you. Because then they'd have to reach. They can't just slide it off the front. Because if you have the little things up front, you know, that's one of those things. It all goes with the philosophy of the con table and where you should put stuff. That sort of thing. But yeah, I played with watercolors today. Sniggle, we saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you see his palette?
I didn't even see the palette.
It's in the Discord. Gabe's not up to date on our Discord right now. For anybody that wants our Discord, there you go. So what should I talk about first? Either the inspiration part, that's a little shorter than the series part, so maybe I'll start about that. So, I don't know if many of you follow me on Instagram, but I get touchy-feely sometimes on my Instagram. And, I talked about, it's gone away already, but I talked about recently during one of those questions that you get, which I'm in love with those right now. I love questions. So if you guys ever have random questions in the chat, feel free to ask me. I love questions. I don't care what it is. But somebody had asked me, like, what inspires you lately, movie, song, whatever. Honestly, my movies and songs are pretty set. Like, I usually have a playlist for a certain story I'm working on, and I'll go and find those songs, or if I just want inspiration of a certain kind for a mood, I already kind of have those set, you know? Same with my movies, like my top 6 movies, and I have a top 6 movies, basically. But I can go to any of those and get inspiration off of them. It's really hard for me to adopt anything new into that, you know, into that tier system. So when she asked me that, I was like, well, I can't answer any of those, but as far as, you know, what's inspiring me right now, also my tip jar is gone for some reason. Come back. Come back. Mm-hmm. There it is. It's been actually airline flights. I know that sounds really weird, but I used to, maybe for the first 3 flights, be kind of scared of airlines and planes in general, and I hate roller coasters. I hate theme parks. I'll just be straightforward with that. I can't do it. I won't do it. I hate drops. So airplanes to me sounded like a roller coaster you can't get off of, right? So I was really afraid of them at first, and then I took some Dramamine, and I'm okay. It's actually kind of fun now, but like, when I'm actually awake for an airline run, when the Dramamine doesn't knock me out, because usually it knocks me out, if I take like a caffeine pill with the Dramamine, I'm okay. I can stay awake and then not have my problems. But I get really emotional. And I don't mean like, you know, the fear thing, but I get super emotional to where I'm looking at everything, and like sometimes the clouds are just ridiculously gorgeous, and you're flying in the air, so there's some like stuff with that, like it's a miracle. I'm not religious, but I am super spiritual, so like the fact we're even doing this, and I can't even wrap my head around mechanics of any kind when it comes to like planes and stuff. Like, I lose my shit every plane ride. I don't really get used to it. Only at night, like night flights when you can't really look out the window, I can't partake in that, so I try to ignore the fact I'm in the air. But if it's a day flight, I have a lot of problems like looking away from the window. Like, I need a window seat. And so I get total FOMO, fear of missing out, and I'm just glued to that window the whole flight. Doesn't matter how long it is. So while I was doing that, my inspiration was coming from the clouds, and I had taken a bunch of cloud pictures. I mean, some were pretty, and some don't translate very well. You know, once you take a picture of them, the feeling's kind of gone, because the parallax, if you aren't familiar with what parallax is when you've got planes of something, and it's moving at different rates behind one another, you know? Usually the front ones move a lot faster than the back ones. Remember, I was in mobile games, so we had to make parallax stuff a lot. So, you know, you'll see the clouds and stuff moving at different rates behind each other, and it's super, I don't know, it's like you're in a 3D sculpture garden. So sometimes like this, I saw this guy, and I was like, that's totally an elephant, you know? You've got the, here, I'll use my little brush here. My super tiny psycho brush, like it's so small. Like, this is like the trunk. He's laughing, his mouth's open. He's got one of his ears right here, his other one's right here. And then the body's sitting here, he's just being a little lump, right? I couldn't stop seeing things in the clouds, and some of the things I really wanted to draw. So, like in this one, I had seen, I'm trying to remember at this point, I know there was a bear here, because it reminded me of Hazel, for those of you who know my Journey June story. This was a bear, and then there's like a flying thing over here, and then there was another cute animal here. It had a little nose. It looked like a giant mouse. If you see this nose, this schnoz here, little eyebrow, ear, here. So I kept seeing these things. But then there was one I saw that really stuck out, and it was this one. This one already looks like a painting. Like, so when I saw this one really struck a nerve with me. Obviously this lighting is immaculate, but I saw it and I'm like, oh my god, this looks like a dude with a beard. Okay, here's the beard. His chin, his nose, right, his forehead. And then I saw this, and I was like, oh my god, that looks like the top half of a castle tower was just detached and placed on his head. And so for this one, I ended up drawing what I was seeing, and I'm going to make it, I think, into a print. I'm hoping to, but I called it King of the Castle, and this is kind of what I saw off of that. So I didn't look at this again afterwards. Like, that was just kind of where the inspiration came from. And I decided to draw it, so this is what I drew off of it. And, dude, this, like, I'm gonna make this a lot bigger, you know? But I've got birds flying around him here. I've got a banner coming off of it. I've got part of it crumbling. I wanted to make this part mossy, so he was almost part of a cliff or something like that. I wanted to think more on it to see if I could put some more stuff in his beard or his hair or anything. But I just, when I saw this, I lost my shit. And I was like, I have to draw this, you know? And then Gabe, when we landed, I told him all about it. This is before I drew it, so he didn't have any visual reference, but he was like, do you think maybe you should call it make it a princess? And I was like, why? Because, ladies sell better? He's like, well, yeah. You guys know me. I'm not going to change what I saw. I'm not going to change what I thought of. Somebody might buy a picture of an old man's profile, and you know what? Even if they don't, I don't care, because that's what I want to draw. Plus, I can't say princess of the castle. It doesn't mean the same thing. So king of the castle made more sense to me. So on a stream coming up in a little while, I guess, I'll probably be inking this. What I'm going to do is probably make that adjustment either on the paper or in Photoshop, do a couple other things, scan it, do an alteration to it where I make it black and white and high contrast, and then maybe print it out on bigger paper and then ink it that way so I can get a lot more detail. But I do want to traditionally ink it. But anyway, I saw that and I was like, oh my god. So this is just an explanation of how you can get that sort of inspiration just from whatever's around you. And as I've said before, the more you draw your original work, the stronger your creative muscle's gonna get. And I swear to God, mine must be like top tier right now, because everything I was looking at was turning into something. Like, it literally felt like I was flying through a sculpture garden, like on a tram, and was being taken through something where people had designed all these things. They were popping out so vividly. It was intense. Anyway, sorry.
Do we have a set class for during June? Set day for during June classes?
Yeah, 2. Who's asking?
Snuggle.
Yeah, Sniggle, did you not take the quiz? Because the quiz shows both days. You actually had to pick a day. So I'm a little confused. Let me go through the chat real quick, because I know I was going crazy for a while. Take down random pins. Okay, so that. Corey asked me what my top 6 movies were. Okay, so Willow is probably my number 1. What?
I was going to say you should probably go through the rest of it first, and then...
Well, I was just going to go down.
No.
Answer and go, answer, go, answer, go. Is that okay?
It's just that there's like it's piling up.
It's piling up. Yeah, I'm going to do it quick. You're being a wet blanket.
No, I'm just saying, like, your last answered question was like 15 minutes.
Well,
but it's fine.
No, it wasn't. If you're talking about this wasn't a question. I was going over this tonight.
I thought it was a question.
He doesn't even look at the Insta stories I do, so he doesn't even know I have an agenda tonight. And yes, we do fight sometimes on the stream, so you'll get to see that. Hey, wait, see. Top 6 movies: Willow, Neverending Story, Labyrinth, Legend, Dark Crystal. Did I already say that? I don't think I did. And sometimes it's The Crow, but it switches out. Like, my number 6 is kind of whatever, but usually I can go to any one of those movies and I'll get something out of it new, something like that. But I know I'm forgetting one. Alright, next question. That's true. Yeah, I cannot skydive. I will not. There are some things I know now that I can just say no to, because I know I would not be happy about it. Buggles, I have done videos of the flights, but really, you can't tell. Like, it sucks, because even when you record it, even when you take a picture of it, it doesn't do it justice. See a flying pig. Nightshade, yes. Yes, Parallax. I love Parallax. Who did you watch artist-wise when you were starting out? Did anyone inspire you? That's interesting, Jamie. So I think my journey was a little different than most artists, where I never adhered so much to another artist style where I tried to replicate it. I feel like all the things that I was into eventually manifested into my style. So the only way I really know that certain things have actually come out in my style and did inspire me are when people tell me. So at every single con, I get at least 2 people who have said Redwall, Brian Froud, or Beatrix Potter, right? Redwall I never read. I have never even heard of Redwall before somebody had mentioned it. And once they did, I had to go and I had to research it. Sure enough, I can understand, why, because it's a lot of various micro worlds with lots of animals and medieval stuff, and they've been, fighting or doing magic and things, so I had never heard of that, so I went and bought the books and the DVD from a Half Price Books, and I'm still waiting to actually read them and look at it. But I'm also kind of afraid to and don't want to, because I almost think I'll take something from that I don't want to and accidentally steal it. So, because that happens. But the other thing is Brian Froud, who he's a concept artist, or was, for Labyrinth, Dark Crystal, all those things. So usually when people see this book of Grigor, they're like, oh my god, do you like Brian Froud? And I'm like, yeah, how'd you know? And they're like, well, you can tell this style really is reminiscent of him, and that's always a huge compliment to me. And of course you get people who say like mouse guard and all that stuff, but usually they just say it because I'm drawing mice, and that's the first thing in their head. However, SuperCon, Secret of Nim, that was number 6. Secret of Nim was the number 6. So, as I was saying, Secret of Nim is one that came up a lot at SuperCon. People are like, you must really like Secret of Nim too, don't you? I'm like, yeah, I do. So, and The Rescuers, both the Rescuers movies, so I'll count those as 7. But yeah, my favorite movies are children movies. Oh well. But as far as inspiring me, yeah, it's hard, because anytime I'll see a style, or something like that, I'll be like, I'll try to dissect it immediately and look at it and be like, okay, what were they doing? What type of texturing were they doing? All this sort of stuff. And I'll try to recreate it without looking at it, but also with my touch to it. And I think that's how you should do really any study. Look at it, try to dissect it, and then kind of walk away from it and do your own thing. And hopefully it kind of translates through your head into your style. So that's how you kind of synthesize things without stealing. That's the great artist steal, because you don't know you're stealing, because it comes out through you as something else. So it's like a filter. Hi, NHL fan! Oh, it's Akira's 30-year anniversary. Oh no, Sniggle, we're doing 2 days. 2 days. So both those days you signed up for one. So whatever one you chose is the one you signed up for. I knew it'd be kind of a jerk thing to do to have just one day, because what if somebody can't make it that day? So I thought at least, for what we went through and what everyone else went through, we could at least offer 2 days. So whatever class day you chose is the one you signed up for. And closer to that day, I'll be sending out an email for the link to where the class will be. Jamie said, bless you.
Thank you.
Lisa Frank. Katie, that's so weird. I guess I haven't seen much of your color stuff, but your cat comics really reminded me of something else, but really it's very you. It's very original, very you, and I liked it. Yeah, 80s and 90s fantasy movies were where it was at. Like, I think that was really the peak of fantasy, in my opinion, because it was so original and so just never done before in that way, where they were on the cusp of technology, but it was still raw with the puppets and stuff. And not only that, but I was thinking about it, I'm like, why is it so hard nowadays with fantasy and everything like that? But I think it's because the amount of artists and people that were around at the time to do concept work was very minimal. Usually it was like you know a guy that knows a guy? Yeah, I know a guy who does this sort of thing, and then it's like they get Brian Froud, you know? But now the pool is so big for how many artists are available for things. You know, it could be anybody. But back in the day, it seemed like it was just a select few. You know, you went to a certain person for fantasy, you went to a certain person for sci-fi, all that sort of stuff. But nowadays, it's oversaturated, really. Hi, Cass. You're welcome, Sniggle. Sorry it wasn't clear before. Cass, we'll try to get to your questions sometime in the next week. It's going to be kind of rough. We might just have to have a call and be doing work while we're talking to you about stuff. But anyway, so that was my story behind King of the Castle. I do really want to make a print of this just because I'm going to make prints of the things I think are cool. And if people like them, cool. But anyway. Okay, so next on the agenda, that Gabe was not aware of, is I was going to talk about how to do an illustrative series, right? So, if anybody's familiar with my Book of Books series that I've been working on, this one is super ongoing. So that link there will give you a look at what I've been doing. I've been working on a book that's going to be a book of books, and every book is themed differently. And I'm going to eventually write a little blurb about each one, but I've been doing it and picking away at it every Inktober. So remember that any of these monthly challenges you do, each one is basically a book. If you've done 30 of something, that's a book. So really, you've already made a product if you've done it. And you can always go back and redo the ones you didn't like. You know, you're always going to have a couple that are off. That's okay. You know, you can always go back, fix them, and then go make a book out of them, right? Oh, Corey, we miss you too. You have a good night.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks for showing up. Yeah, sorry it's, you know, the late streams are late. I feel bad about that, but, you know, we can go over stuff on Thursday too on my stream. The earlier one, in case, but like a coffee table book about coffee tables? Sort of. It'd be more of a coffee table book that's made out of coffee tables. Or rather, a coffee table that's made out of coffee tables. Because, I mean, the actual thing it is what it would be. So, like, if you had a cup full of cups, that sort of thing. So, anyway, Book of Books is what I was calling it. And so that was one of my series. I had another series that was all bottle merchants, and I plan to do something with those eventually too, where they're all certain types of characters that are lugging around different types of bottles with different things inside of them, right? A series book. Yeah. So, Alex, the whole point in our eyes and why we actually birthed Journey June, and for anybody who's not familiar with Journey June, these links should be able to help, but mainly it's the journeyjune.com and the Instagram Journey June that were our main ones. Is that every monthly challenge is about the size of a book. A book is around, 20 to 30 pages, something like that. So if you've ever done a monthly challenge, you have a book sitting there waiting to be made. And Gabe and I strongly believe that you should make books as like milestones, either, every year as a sketchbook, or, if you've done a series like I'm going to be talking about, they make great, just checkpoints in your art career that you can just whip one out, even if it's just made for you and not necessarily for selling. They're great to just have around because you can have something to be proud of that you've finalized, completed, and it's, a stamp in your book. It's experience, That's true, Sagi. Hello, overweight man. You can go away now. Gabe, you're not doing a good job as a moderator. In a pro, bro. In a pro. So anyway. Yeah, you totally should. Ramon, there's no reason not to. Really, the only bad thing I could see with making a book is usually the upfront cost and the time it takes, because honestly, it takes a good amount of time to compile one. I think the fastest I ever put together and printed a book was 2 weeks. I compiled it in a week, and all this stuff was made, but I had to take everything and put it into a book and then send off the file, and then I got it a week later. So really it took a week to compile it. And I think I was working on that pretty religiously for that whole week, if I remember right. But you also think that, people should make these milestones, right? Because they're good to have for yourself and to show people,
Otherwise, then you don't have anything ever.
Yeah, and you want to be able to prove stuff. Like, if it's one thing, for me, it's like proving to people to back up the things you've said, So when you say, oh, I've got so many stories, people are like, okay, where are they? And if you've never actually finished one or made one, you can't say that. So that was part of what our whole Journey June was about. We wanted people to finish a story. We didn't care how you did it. We didn't care how finalized it was. We didn't want anyone to render anything. We just wanted you to sketch it out, get it done, and I really wanted mine to be around here somewhere. But if you've been on my Instagram, you've seen how rough they are, right? You just need to show how, things are happening, what's going on, how you've illustrated the prompt, and that's basically it. So by the end of June, you had an entire story, not just enough content for a book, but an actual narrative. And a lot of people struggle with that. They've got the whole giant story that they've had for 10 years, which has tons of characters. If that's you, and you want to be a storyteller, put that one on the shelf for a minute, okay? I know it's hard, but if that's your baby right now, put it up on the shelf, because really, what you want to do is do a bunch of little stories to gain momentum, to understand how it feels, how it works, so that you can earn the right to actually take that off the shelf and be like, all right, I'm ready for this. It's technically like building experience to go fight a boss. You can't fight that boss because you're level 1, right? So you need to knock off a bunch of little guys before you can get to the big one, right? Or else you're just going to die. It's the same thing. Like, think of art and experience in that way. Like, you're not yet ready for that big kahuna, right? You need to fight all the little things to gain all the weaponry, all the experience, everything to be able to fight that. Hung up a bet on fantasy movies. You said there were so many people in the streets, so saturated. I feel guilty. How do I not contribute to the saturation? I'd like to make my own movies in my own independent studio. Jasmanian Devil, that is a loaded one. There are so many people in the industry. The hardest thing is that you need to get your exposure, right? But don't sacrifice your integrity as an artist to get there. So, like, don't do things for free, stuff like that. But try to get in front of the faces of the places you'd like to be. If you want to work for, ILM or Blizzard or Disney or anything like that, you have to work your way up to get in front of those people, to know those people, because basically any good job is kind of nepotism. It's all about who you know, right? So you have to build up your body of work and yourself and your confidence to get to the point where you can actually talk to these people and potentially get there if that's what you want to do. Like, make your own movies in your own independent studio. What do you mean by that? Is there another film or a studio you can tell me that's doing what you want to do? That might help me understand. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, who cares if it's saturated? Like,
it is saturated.
Look at
there's a lot of work for everyone.
Yeah, no. Look at like superheroes. Like,
superheroes are saturated.
Just in general, superheroes saturated to hell. But if you make a good superhero story, like for anybody who knows what Invincible is, like, that is a phenomenal superhero story, but it's like sort of not about superheroes, but it is about superheroes. So it doesn't, like, if it's good, then it's good regardless of how much shit there is in
it's true.
the world.
And if you can get in front of people's faces, that's, like I said, the exposure part of it is kind of the most important part, because you can think about any, like, tiny web comic on Tumblr that goes viral. It's just because a couple people, little people, just people like you and me, saw it, and they reblogged it, they shared it, they supported it, and it blew up. Because people support the things that they like, it gets bigger, right? So, I mean, there's still room for you, there's still a potential. Like, don't get down about that. Hopefully that helps. But
Serenity, what do you mean by produce a real comic? Like,
any comic comic is a real comic.
Yeah, that's like saying like, what was it? Someday I'll have enough experience to eat a real apple. Right now I'm just eating these little apples that are like this big. Someday I'll eat a big apple. Someday. Like, no, you just ate an apple.
Because I mean, Serenity, if you think about it, real is subjective. Everybody's gonna think real is different. Honestly, remember you guys, there's no real standard for anything. Like, what you want to do is whatever you want to do. Like Serenity, if you just printed your comic now, you compiled it, made it into a little book and sold it, who's to say that's not a real comic? You know? Like, what is real? I'm pulling a Matrix here, you know?
Yeah, but Serenity, that's what I'm saying. You can, like Ashley just said, you can just print your own book.
Yeah, I mean, Serenity, you finished it, right? You signed up for the class. We're going to show you how to do that. It's not as hard as you think.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole reason we offer the printed mentorship, where we teach you how to make prints, make books, all that stuff, is because usually the problem is that when people want to make a story or anything like that, they don't understand how to get there, you know? So if we teach you how to get there and show you how easy it is, it's usually just time consuming. But it is kind of easy, except for one part. There's one part that's tricky. But it is relatively easy. People just don't know how to go about finding out how to do it. So if someone teaches you, then you have no excuse not to finish that story, because you know how your story with that story is going to end, right? I think people are scared to make anything because they don't know what the next step when it's done is, so they don't see a reason to finish it. But like I said, if you are attending our class, then you're going to see how to end it so that you can end your stories and make them into something so they can go into their afterlife, we'll call it, right? Or usually I say they go to college. They become their own IP. They become their own brand. Even if you're self-publishing, you don't need someone to, an agent or whatever, because, sometimes that can be more trouble than it's worth. But if you're going to be going around to cons or selling things online, self-publish your heart out. Like, we've got a friend who, how many things has Donovan made? He's had to have made like 50 separate books.
Oh, yeah.
We have one friend that just pumps out book after book after book after book. Some of them might be good, some of them might be bad, we don't know, but the kid is making content like mad. And if you're doing that, somewhere along the line, it's going to start polishing itself, right? It's like a rock in a tumbler. So if you start making things, that's the hardest part that people don't want to do. They just don't want to work for it. Everybody's like, what's the secret to being a good artist? There is no one secret except to work, and no one wants to hear that.
There's your secret. That is the secret.
Exactly, Mike, you get it. Yeah, it's hard because a lot of the time, you are in the middle of the story, right? And this is part of why we were streaming during Journey June, and we asked people that were doing Journey June to actually come do their dailies with us, so that we could answer any questions they have if they run into a snag, whatever. Like, it was like having a class, right, as we went. But, so what happened was, anytime we hit a snag, which everyone does, especially if you're writing a story, you're going to hit these roads where nothing works, too many things work, you don't know where to go. The most important thing to do in those times is to pick one. Doesn't matter what. Weigh pros and cons of each, whatever, whichever one has the most fun outcome, doesn't matter. The whole important thing is that you choose something and you keep going. The minute you get paralyzed and stop, think of it like you're on your own quest, right? Your quest writing your book. If you reach a trial and you just stop, you failed the mission, right? You only truly fail something when you stop. If you finish it and it sucks, you still won. Okay, because you finished it, right? So it's gonna be good. You're fine. And that's all we wanted people to do, was to finish it. That's it. And some people, oh my God, I was so mad a couple days because some people crapped out early, and our thing was excuses. We hate excuses. So they'd crap out early and they'd publicly say, oh, I had to quit Journey June because of this reason. And they'd come tell us. It's like, why are you telling us? Just drop out silently, Don't come tell us you failed. I mean, you think we care. We don't really, because it's your journey. It's your art journey. You're failing you, not us. So a lot of people we had to tell that to. You know, like, don't tell us you're sorry. Tell yourself you're sorry. Because that's just going to be another time you could have finished something and you didn't. So we got pretty hard about it, you know, because we're usually hard, but whatever. Vampire book wave. After Twilight, people are jumping on garbage. It's true, Serenity. Especially at, like, Barnes & Noble, they ended up having a, what was it called? Supernatural Romance or something? Remember, there was a whole title for, like, Twilight and all those books.
I think that's what it was called, Supernatural
Was
Romance.
it? I didn't think it was that long. It was something along the lines of that, but Cartoon Saloon and Leica.
Wait, so Jasmanian Devil, you want to make animations? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
'Cause
Like,
when you said film, I imagine you want to, like, get some actors and do some.
see, yeah,
movies.
I thought you meant live action too, but you mean, like, I want to know, do you want to make things independently, like, just you? Or do you want to work in a studio? I guess is more the question. Secret is about pointing things out. It's true, Katie, but I still kind of disagree with Warhol, as I normally do. But I don't care if they decide anything on my art. My art's for me and not really for other people. If other people enjoy it, cool. But, like, I really feel like whatever you're into, make it regardless of whoever else sees it, wants it, whatever. It almost sounds like Warhol is saying to make things for other people. I feel like you make things ultimately for yourself and then kind of throw them out, and if people find them, whatever, you know, it's theirs then too. Yeah, so Jasmanian Devil, that's true. Jake Parker said that, and he's not wrong. I mean, he's finished not perfect is absolutely true. Paranormal. It might have been paranormal too, but I think paranormal's more ghosts, where supernatural is more, like, mystical things.
Like vampires.
Like vampires and werewolves and stuff. We get caught up in how others see our work. Exactly. So, Ramon, that's totally true. And we've talked about this before on our stream numerous times, where, you know, you're supposed to not care about someone else's journey, not care about what other people are doing. Never compare yourself as an artist to another artist. You should be comparing yourself to yourself in yesterday, right? Did you draw yesterday? No. Did you draw today? Yeah. You're doing better than yesterday. Okay? So only do it to yourself, because really, comparing yourself to other artists is the apples and oranges argument. You've had different experiences. You've had different teaching things happen to you, right? You've been taught different stuff than someone over there. You know, they might have something ahead of you. They might be older than you and you might not even know it, so they've got more experience that way. There's too many factors where you can never adequately compare yourself to someone else. So don't, because it's a lot of added stress that you don't need, right? You're just stressing yourself out. One of my favorite quotes is actually a lyric from Marilyn Manson, one of my favorites. I do love Marilyn Manson so much. Where he says, "Wake up and stop shaking, because you're just wasting time." And it's true. To me, that says you're just worrying about stuff and when you could be doing stuff, right? Stop fucking around and do something. You know, stop just paralyzing yourself with all these what ifs. Just do something. It doesn't matter. If you're sitting there and you're looking at something and you're like, man, I'd really like to draw that, but, like, I don't know, would people like it? Would it be whatever for my brand? No. You see it, you want to do it. Why would you not, you know? But anyway, animations, yes, just me. In a studio by myself. So, Jasmanian Devil, that's going to be a little tough. Mainly because you're going to probably have to have another source of income while you're doing your pet project thing there. Because the problem with animation, and Gabe and I both went and majored in animation in college and graduated with animation degrees, and we don't use it anymore. I did when I was in mobile games for 10 years, but after that, I mean, I do it for fun, but there's really no easy way to make money off animations like there is with print and books and illustrations, stuff like that. So the hard thing is to make money off your pet project of animating, but if you're good at it, you can actually make it work with Patreon, right? I think Patreon's really the only way nowadays, other than being hired for little things like, sprites in a game and stuff like that, for, doing animation stuff. But
even then,
it's tough.
Like, if you actually wanted it to be successful, like, to any degree, if you wanted to be successful, I have a friend that has his own studio, and all he does is corporate work now, but it's animation, but, it's still corporate crap, but he was trying to make his own animations, his own movies, for, a decade, and it's a lot of work. And also, if you haven't started making animations right now, then, have you done any animation?
Oh, bye, Michelle.
Bye, Michelle.
Thanks for coming.
If you haven't done any animation, then you better get your ass in gear.
If any of you guys have dreams and you're over, I'd say, 20, and you haven't made any strides towards that, you have to right now. If that's your real dream, honestly, if it's your dream, you should have already been doing it and you can't help it, right? But if that's what you want to do, whatever you want to do, start doing it now, because waiting and wondering is just going to hurt you. Right, Ramon? Yeah, it is kind of that. I mean, like I said, I used it for a long time, like the animation thing, and I still love animation. The funny thing about animation is they never really tell you that you can use it for so many other things. They usually just leave you with the idea that you're going to use it for a giant project like a movie or a cartoon. No, there are so many things that use animation that are short and digestible and not a big thing that you work years on, which that was what I didn't like. I don't like long projects usually, right? So when I learned that, when I do them for games, which I had set out to be in gaming when I was 13, and I lived that dream came to an end, and now I have a new dream. You can have multiple dreams throughout your life, by the way. But I got to the point where, it wasn't my dream anymore. But when I was doing it, I loved doing short animations. It was so much fun. Like a run cycle or, little battle animations. Those were my favorite things to do. And then to actually have someone controlling them was so much fun. So my problem with our program was that it never told you what else you could use it for. And honestly, if you want to do it but you don't know where to start, there are places that need animators to make, it sounds dumb, but to make interactive menus, like Wendy's. When you see the menu up, when you go into the place, and the fast food place, and stuff's moving around, someone had to animate that, right? So animation jobs are everywhere. Hi, Eliza.
Do you see Kinetic? What they said about dropping projects because they get too heavy?
Yeah. So, Kinetic, you need to break down your projects to be smaller things. You gotta make it sounds bad, but you need to make it so they're easy. Easy goals are the best goals to gain momentum, right? Like, in the morning, there's a whole philosophy behind making your bed, if you've ever heard this. We don't need to, because we're okay with our momentum as it is. But if you're one of those people that has a problem with gaining momentum with stuff, there's this philosophy about when you wake up in the morning, make your bed. Because nothing else, if nothing else happens that day, you got that done. You made that one thing. So that's one notch on your list. And for us, I think it's actually going to the gym. Mm-hmm. So every day when we go to the gym, which we go to the gym every day, we at least did that, and that's because we sit so much the rest of the day. But have little goals like that throughout your day, and then, like I said, with projects, do the same thing. Do, a character turnaround. Done. Figure out what the first scene's going to be. Done. And I would actually say, Kinetic, to look at our Journey June Instagram, because you're going to see how we broke it down into being pretty easy little prompts for every day. Now, granted, I set out with my Journey June to do one illustration for every prompt. Apparently, I have too much to say, which obviously is kind of my problem, but I talk too much. But that also shows in my storytelling, which is funny because I almost think there's a metaphor to this, where a lot of my stories are wordless, but they're very expressive.
Well, the problem is that because you can't talk,
Yeah,
you have to show more.
that's true.
That's part of the...
That's true.
Yeah,
But even so, I wouldn't have been able to do one illustration a thing because,
yeah no.
I don't know, it was just weird. Yeah.
I think the biggest problem with the month challenge for someone who has a day job is that it's finding like the time, I guess, to do it.
Yeah.
You know, like so.
But I mean, like every day, that's how I did Grigor.
Hmm.
So, to be fair, I don't know, Alex, if I explained this to you, but Grigor, this book, was Inktober. And so every day of this was an Inktober. And at the end of Inktober, I actually retrofitted the story to it and then made a book out of it. So every night, and this was during the time I worked at the mobile game studio, when I was making games, I would get home and I'd be burnt, right? So I didn't want to do anything. I had to figure out a way to make myself work at night. And I figured out that if I do the thinking and everything difficult during the day on my lunch break, so I'd figure out what the drawing that night would be, right? And I'd figure out all that stuff ahead of time because when I got home, my brain was just shot and I didn't want to think of anything. I just want to relax. Relaxing ended up being actually illustrating. So I'd think of the hard stuff during the day. When I got home that night, I was actually excited to illustrate what I had thought of earlier that day because I'd already thought of it. All the thinking's done. All I needed to do was draw it. And that became really fun because then it was like a prompt. But that's how I work. And you might have to figure out how you work. And that's honestly the hardest thing I think every artist has to figure out is how you work best. And it took me years to figure that out. For some people it might be a lot easier, you know, and this includes figuring out your styles. Yes, styles. You don't need one style. Okay, you can have many styles. I don't know where this one style stigma came from, but you can have many styles for many different things for many different reasons. Okay, don't think you need one. But after you figure all this stuff out and like, do you work better in the day? Do you work better at night? You need to figure this out. Aldraith, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. But like I said, when I worked my full-time job, I never actually got to experience other times a day and working with that. Once I went freelance, I was lucky enough to actually explore when the best times of day for me to work were. So I got very lucky with that. But style ranges for children. So. And that's okay, Serenity. That's okay. The many styles thing is everything's going to call for a different style if, you know, you work on a different project. Yes, Fire Seal, we're the exact same. We've found that out too. We can't do anything in heat. Heat sucks. We can't do it. Anyway, if you guys have other questions, let me know. I'm going to go back to this real quick. So, did you want to say anything? Because I've been talking more than usual. For those that are new here, I don't usually talk this much. I mean, I talk a lot, but not this much. This has been a rant night. Plus, it's our first time back in like a week, so we've got a lot to say. Or at least I do. But I was going to talk really quick about how to do an illustrative series. So, when you decide that you're going to make a series, it's important to, in my opinion, think about what it is that makes it a series, okay? So when I did, I'm going to try and find these. Oh, yeah, they're in that. Hey, are you up? Are you walking around? Can you go in my bag and grab my plastic folder I've got? It's in the back. It's got paper and junk in it. Yeah, okay. So this is part of really knowing yourself and what you want to do. Are we going to participate in Inktober this year?
Yeah.
We usually do every year, yeah. And
I've decided that I'm actually going to try for the second round of a story.
Oh.
with Inktober.
Gabe's gonna redo last year's story.
Well, no, I'm not gonna redo it. I'm gonna do another one.
Wait, you're not doing Bone to Pick again?
I mean, that's gonna be. I'm gonna be doing that on my own, but I'm gonna do another one. Now that I know how to structure it better,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Journey June's
Oh, yeah,
thing
yeah,
and
that's
apply it
smart.
to that.
That's smart. Yeah, heat is the worst thing ever. But then again, we're all like kind of Midwest people saying that. But yeah, usually Gabe and I do Inktober every year, and for me, I usually work on my book of books, so I'll probably be doing that. So anyway, this was the first one I did in this series, and I was actually inspired by an artist I follow's one piece he did, and it was honestly just how he was doing his stonework. I was like, I want to do stonework. That looks like fun. So I decided that I was gonna draw something like that. That was just stonework. And then I was like, well, I want to draw some trees, but I want to draw something normal. So I was like, I'll draw a structure with, the tree in it and do some spot blacks, right? So I did this, and this was the only one. And I was like, you know what? I really like that. That was really fun. Because I do really like doing buildings. Like when I was doing mobile games and stuff, architecture is really fun. Funny enough, my grandpa was an architect. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But after I did this, I was like, I want to do another one. And so I did another one, and I really like cattails. I also live in the Midwest, so we have an abundance of cattails. So I was like, I'll do one with cattails. And as you can see, it's got a lot of little errors in it. But I don't care about that right now. The fact is it's done, and I can fix stuff later. So I was like, oh, I'll do cattails. And I did cattails, and cattails are in water, so then I put it down here. Now at this point, I was already starting to think this could be a thing, right? I could actually make this into a little series, because they had similar looks to them, they had similar elements, and really at this point, when you've drawn two of something, or even one, honestly, and you enjoyed it, you can decide, well, I want to explore this more, right? And for those of you who were around, I think last year during my Inktober where I was explaining Book of Books, pick an object you really like. One that you would like to explore more, one that you just like the aesthetic of, that whole thing. And then do different versions of it. So like, let's say it's teacups. I think I used this exact same thing last year. Teacups. Well, you could have... Huh?
Getting raided.
Heather, thank you for the raid. Oh, picnic basket on fire. A panic basket. Oh, I love that. Serenity. Yeah. Inktober is hosted by. Sorry, Eliza. Yeah, Inktober is hosted by Jake Parker. So Jake Parker started Inktober. Drawloween was actually before Drawtober, which Drawtober was started by Key and Tim, but they did it in response to Drawloween kind of sucking at what they were doing. Mm-hmm. So Tim and Key saw that, oh, we really like Halloween. We want to do a drawing challenge. Drawloween's not holding their weight here. Let's do it 10 times better. And they totally did. So Tim and Key run Drawtober. Inktober is the original of the monthly challenges as far as I'm concerned. Mm-hmm. So Jake Parker technically started all of these monthly challenges.
I think March of Robots was...
I don't think so. No? I think even DaCosta did it after him. Yeah, it was Jake Parker. So Fire Seal looks forward to your new story.
All right.
Yeah. So anyway, now off of what Jake Parker did in Inktober, now there are all kinds of monthly challenges, right? Mermaid, like Gabe said, March of Robots, which usually we do March of Robots too, which I plan on making a little book out of my March of Robots because I really enjoyed that one too. But there's basically one for every month, and now there's one for June because of us. So hopefully that one catches on, because we put a spin on the monthly challenge with Journey June. It's more for it's for artists with a storytelling emphasis, where a lot of the art challenges, they don't have that. They just have, here's your prompt, draw your prompt. The next day, here's a different prompt unrelated to any of the other prompts, draw the prompt. Ours, every prompt is connected, it's chronological, it's consistent, you have to keep a character throughout. it's tough and it's kind of hard mode. So we figured, since people were so used to these art challenges, that this would be the next step, right? And plus, Gabe and I thought of it because we were taking all of the monthly challenges we were doing and usually adding a narrative to them anyway. We wanted them to be stories. So we would take a prompt from that challenge and work it into a story that day. And then the next day's challenge, work that into the next part of the story. So like I said, we were doing it anyway, so that's where that came from. But there's no error. Heather, thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had a good stream.
Kaijun would be really good.
Oh, Kaijun does sound good. Oh, Liza found you from Virtual Robots.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. Jelly June. A new jelly. Go for it, Crane. Actually, yeah, Alex Kaijun sounds pretty cool. I like that. I mean, maybe eventually we'll do Journey July instead. I don't know. No, you said that right, Serenity. Don't worry about it. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate it. I miss you. Yeah, Sniggle, you should do Kaijun. Holy crap.
Oh,
That's right up
Sniggle.
your alley.
I didn't get to show you the pictures, but there's a dude that had like a whole table of Godzilla shit. Like so much Godzilla stuff.
Hi, Tara. Okay, so back to this. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. You guys ask such good questions. How am I not supposed to? So after those two were done, and like I was saying, this is tips on how to make an illustrative series, right? So Crane, I'm gonna answer that again, but later. I answered that at the beginning of the stream. I love you, but I'm gonna wait a minute because I want to get through this. So part of what I wanted to go over today was how to do an illustrative series and what does that mean. So, oh, I'm getting rated again.
By who? What?
Pinky, Pink Eye, Pink Eye. It's rating me. Thank you.
Oh wow. Pink eye epoxy.
Eliza, you're sweet.
Oh, pink eye epoxy.
Yeah, Alex, they did have a guy from Godzilla. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. There were so many things I wanted to buy at that table.
Yeah, it was.
Dude, Sniggle, they had a Jet Jaguar, but it was $60, and it was basically one of.
Why didn't you take a video of that table for him?
I took a picture of it, but because of the internet sucking so bad. But it was one of these, like the ones where the legs don't move and the arms move, you know. But he was like $60. It was totally from the '80s.
Did you show that?
Huh?
Did you just show that?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah. If the show had been better, I totally would have just been like, all right, sorry Ash, I'm buying this.
No, I get it.
I'm totally
I get
buying
it.
it.
I'm with you.
But instead, I got this little guy, Battle Beasts. You guys remember Battle Beasts? Battle Beasts. They are
more.
beasts, and they battle for
Beasts?
beasts. I don't know. I saved them from a vintage toy prison camp.
That. So, anyway, yeah, the reception was the worst. I got no signal, no internet. I had to go straight to cash for all the transactions because I couldn't make any card things because of that. What sucked is you need the internet apparently to even load Square.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, so the freaking thing wouldn't even load, so I couldn't even take offline swipes.
Mm-hmm.
It was the worst situation I've ever been in at a con for that sort of thing.
And then PayPal doesn't even offer the ability to do offline, which is really
That
weird.
is weird. I get it, but they don't want you to have cards that would decline.
You know what also sucks?
But what?
Is that I can't just type in the number in offline mode.
What, really?
Yeah, like it's you gotta swipe it. Like probably something about the magnetic swipe that, yeah.
Thank you so much for the raid, Pinky. Pink Eye? Sorry, Pink Eye. Did you have a good stream? I hope you did.
I was hoping it was pink epoxy.
Thank you for the follow. Yeah, none of us could get anything to work. But
What's nice though is that the people at the show were kind of like the attendees at the show I think at some point realized that, oh, okay, no one is taking credit card, so they figure that stuff out quick, and they're like, all right, I gotta hit the ATM.
Yeah. So, Crane said the Gungeon expansion or whatever comes out
Oh, cool.
on Thursday.
Nice.
Sniggle, did you post it? Yeah, I didn't want that many people touching my phone or Mom. So the problem with it is, usually if nothing works swipe-wise or anything, I type in the number, but I couldn't even get Square to load. You know when it says loading Square register or whatever, and it's got the %? It wasn't even loading the app. I've never seen that before. It was so bogus, and I kept restarting, nothing worked. It was awful. And it's like, you know, if you're gonna have us here and you want us to come back, maybe give us free internet instead of charging $80 a day for it. It was ridiculous. Yeah, Verizon had signal, but I used to have Verizon, and they were killing me with how much it was. It's so much cheaper on Google. We only pay for what we use. So maybe, you know, for both of us on a family plan, we might just be doing $20 a month.
So even with us, even with the bill being $100 this time, we were paying $150 on T-Mobile.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
so
And I was paying ridiculous amounts, like $120 for Verizon when I had it. So
like if we
I don't know.
owned the phones right now, that bill would have been like $40.
How do people tend to pay at those cards? Both card and cash, Serenity. Okay, I'm going to get back to this real quick. So I'm going to stop looking at the chat for a little bit, get through this, and then I'll go back. Gabe's going to be quiet too. So
I'm going to be looking.
Just so I can get through this.
Okay.
So yeah, don't say anything. I don't care. If you read it, you wait. I need to focus on what I'm telling you guys, because I had 3 things I wanted to get through in this stream tonight. We already covered 2. This is the 3rd one, how to do an illustrative series, okay? So like I was saying, I started with these 2, and then like I said, you might just do 1 and you realize, hey, I really like how this is going. I really want to do more and explore this. And like I said, if you want to start a series, pick your favorite thing or one of your favorite things. And like I said, let's say it's teacups. Start, and this is so good for your original mind, you know, your creative muscle. Oh my God, if you have trouble thinking of your own original ideas and stuff, this is a perfect start for it. It's really good mental exercise, okay? So if you're, you know, let's say you do fan art a lot, or you're doing other things, studies all the time, get away from both of those, because they're not going to do a heck of a lot for you in the future. Start focusing on making your creative muscles strong, and by doing that, do stuff like this, where you're applying thematic things to other things, because that will help you in the future when you, say, have to put historical something or other onto something else, right? Let's say for a job, okay? Character design, whatever. So with this, like, I had to look at this then, both of these, because I finished both, and then I'm like, okay, I want to start a series of this, and figure out kind of what the elements are that make this series, right? And that can be kind of difficult, especially if they're too different, but for the moment, I was looking at them, and I'm like, okay, what are the 3 main things that are consistent throughout? Well, they have some sort of flora, right? And this is where I was talking about calling it Fortified Flora, because they're in a fortification of sorts, right? In a building, in an architectural structure, and they themselves are flowers or plants, flora. I used flora because it's an all-encompassing term, because you've got flora and fauna. Fauna are the things that usually dwell within flora. So I picked flora, and now I get to have my reign of whatever plants or whatever I want, right? So the only problem I run into is after I've started making these and doing things off of that formula, because you're making a formula, okay? So I've got the structure itself, it's medieval in nature, and I'm going to keep that. I don't want any modern structures, nothing like that. Medieval plants, okay? And then to have almost like this tier scenario of the silhouette where it kind of either goes up and it tapers, or it just goes up. It has a crescendo, right? In its visual hierarchy, we'll say. So they kind of do have that look where they're kind of going up and tapering. Now, I don't need to keep that one, but at least the bases I need to be wide because they are a structure, right? I need them to at least have a foundation that's strong. So that's one of the things is in a lot of these I've actually mapped out that they're about the same width. And I'm using the same paper for these, which when you are doing a series, it's good to use that. So for these 3 so far, I've got around the same width, right? And then the other ones I'm doing, and look at this, I'm tearing them out. I know you guys freak out with this, but I tear out some of my drawings, okay? I've gotten used to tearing drawings out of my sketchbooks because I end up selling them a lot of the time. So I'm tearing them out because I want to keep them all in the same place. And I don't want them to potentially get hurt by being anywhere else. Okay, so by tearing them out, I'm actually protecting them more. So I think that's it for now. Yeah, okay. So now I can just show you. Right now, the one I did on the airplane is going to be, this is a thistle castle. Now, I'm almost getting too far away with this one, but I'll come back to that. Because if you look at one of my most recent ones, which is actually probably one of these, let me say this like that. Okay. So this one has actually strayed quite a bit from this first one. It's almost changed in camera, like zoom, right? This is a lot more pulled out. This is a lot more pushed in. I'm still on the fence about if I'm going to keep this original one in the series, honestly, because this is kind of the what's the original cast called or whatever? It's the mold from which everything else is cast, right? The mold is starting to deteriorate, we'll say, because these ones have kind of taken on a life of their own, right? They're all a little bit more pushed in, a little bit bigger, right? They almost have a 2-step to them. Whereas this first one feels a little bit strange. So unless I make a couple more that are more in this like frame of reference, it's gonna feel a little bit wonky in there. So with however many I've done, I don't even know, I haven't counted. 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. So I've got 6 so far. So that's a nice little postcard pack. If I just wanted to do these, stop here. I do have more that I want to do. Eventually I could do a book. If I get up to 20 or more, that necessitates a book. If I don't do over 20, that's not a perfect bound, but if I go under 20, I can make a hand-bound book however I want, you know? Because as you guys know, some of you, I hand-bind some of my books just because, you know, you can make anything you want into a book. It doesn't have to be perfect bound to be a legitimate book. If you want to just print out something on your printer and staple it together, that's a book. That's technically called a zine. Okay, for anybody that's not familiar with a zine, they're really like handmade cheap books of your own design, whatever you want them to be. You can have a lot of fun with them. Gabe and I usually go to like a scrapbooking aisle in like a Hobby Lobby or a Joann. We pick out some scrapbook stuff that makes the cover. You know, you can have fun with how it closes, like its closure. You know, how the binding is. You can have so much fun and do whatever you want. The only pain in the ass is if you're selling them, you have to make a ton of them, right? But really, making a series is all about making a little formula out of what you've already kind of established. So this one's cotton, this one's dandelions, the other two were peonies and lilacs. Lilacs are my favorite flower. Cattails and a tree. So right away, the tree is kind of out of place. The other ones are kind of flowers, right? So unless I make another type of tree, like maybe I have a bonsai tower, or maybe I have a birch, thing, then I could, then I could pull out more, like I had, and make those part of the series. So I might have to do that if I do want to use that one and incorporate that one. I'll have to even it out so it looks like it's still part of the series by adding more. It's basically where you've got an outlier and you're trying to gradate, how much of a difference there is between it. So it becomes incorporated, right? It's creating a quality between all your drawings. So when you're doing that, like I said, at least have maybe 3 things that are consistent throughout all the drawings. So like I said, and then I even got a little bit further where I'm doing this sort of stonework in some of them, and this is part of the medieval aspect. Some wood. So I have wood, stone, and almost like a gravel-like stone with some mortar, and then these wooden shingles. So I almost have an entire list of things I can pick and choose and mix with for all the stuff. Okay, Pixel Jive, thank you for the follow. Alright, I'm gonna go back through the chat now, so give me a minute. I know I've been talking a lot. Hopefully this has all been helpful. But I really remember talking to you guys about illustrative series, and talking about how to do it, so I thought I'd do a thing on it. Oh, on a chair to get signal? Oh, Katie.
Yeah. No,
Sometimes,
yeah.
here's a trick. Actually, it's worked for me too. If you take your phone and put it up to your head is actually an antenna. So walk away from anything metal, because that also affects it, and then put your phone up to your head. Yeah, cancer, whatever, we're going to get it anyway. But if you put it up to your head, it'll act as an antenna, and I have made purchases using that technique before.
What was the show where you were running out of the convention center?
Emerald City. Emerald City, not this year, but 2 years ago?
I think so. Yeah.
2 years ago at Emerald City Comic-Con in Seattle, I had to actually run out of the hall where the artist alley was to make transactions, run back. It's crazy.
And this year they had free internet. Imagine that.
So, Crane, if you were following me on Instagram by chance, I've been putting the actual name of the series with each one. So on every one of them, I've called them Fortified Flora, because they are fortified. So remember what I've said too. If you guys are going to do this and do like an illustrative series, make a hashtag for it, because when you make a hashtag, you can keep them all accounted for, right? So as you can see here, under my Fortified Flora hashtag, I've got 4 so far. So I have 2 in the barrel that I can post the next 2 days to buy me time till I make the next one, right? Which I've already got penciled out. That's probably the best way to go about doing any sort of posting. Have a couple done, be working on a new one, and have posted one that day, basically. So that was the peonies one, cattails, dandelions, and the tree. So I still have the other ones you guys have seen that no one else has seen yet on Instagram. But like I said, you can eventually get there. Oh, that's nice. Favorites. Also, going to conventions is a great way to get new follows and get exposure. And the nice follows. The follows you know are legitimate and actually, like, loyal, right? Because when you get follows from a convention, those people have seen you, they've met you, you've made an impact on them, so those are the people that are usually going to stay. They're not bots. They're not bought by a company or something, so. Oh, thanks, Sniggle. I like layering them, too. You guys, there's no stealing ideas. If you think about it, everything's been done. So, futuristic medieval, please, Gabe does that.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen anything Gabe has done? He's got futuristic medieval everywhere. Come on, so you're copying Gabe then, right?
Hey, nobody wants it, FYI.
Everybody's done whatever's been done already. Thank you, Sniggle said it before I even got that. Oh, thank you, Alex. Yeah, line weight is super important. If you're just doing line work, I could talk a lot about lines. Like, the fact that, you know, your detail, where do you put it, what do you do with your line weight, how do you use line weight to actually set things back in space and forward, and using spot blacks, all that sort of stuff. Now, granted, I am not the end-all be-all for spot blacks. I mean, I don't... Mike Mignola kind of overdoes it, in my opinion. But spot blacks are a very stylistic thing. Like, depending on how you use a spot black, that can make or break you.
I think it's funny that you do it a lot more than I do.
I do, yeah, that's so weird. Yours is a lot more like Lorgast and that Crom. Crom does a lot of spot blacks, though, too. Oh, tragic, a willow. Willows are my favorite tree, and I didn't even think about that. Thank you. So I've got a willow. And this is how much I don't give a shit about how my stuff looks, okay? Like, if you're using a sketchbook, beat it up, alright? Use it for whatever. So I've got a willow, a birch tree. What did I say earlier? Oh, I hate evergreens, but I don't know. I feel like if I left them out, that'd be stupid.
You know what my favorite thing is?
Bonsai.
When somebody shows me their sketchbook.
And it's falling the fuck apart.
And it's falling apart.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that's a good
oh
sign.
yeah, I'm in for something good here.
Usually.
Yeah, usually. Sometimes they've just been carrying it around too long and they've only drawn a few things in it, which then it's really weird.
Monk, I would like to know what you mean by time is more valuable than ideas. I'd like to hear you expand on that, actually. So, Eliza, spot blacks are a section of a drawing you decide to actually fill it in with black. So all these areas I've used a spot black. Now, if I really wanted certain things to pop, like if I wanted this wood grain to look super deep and really just like gouged into, kind of more like this one, see how many spot blacks are in here? There's a lot more. And especially on this first one I did, which I feel like I didn't carry this throughout, and I need to go back to make it more consistent. But see how around here all these are filled in with black? Each one of those is a spot black. It helps to define the silhouette, but also helps with your planes, your foreground, middle ground, background, using just ink. And you can do that a number of ways, but spot blacks are one of them. So like using it here, you can see that this banner is actually within this bushel, bough. I think it's bough. Bough of the tree. B-O-U-G-H. Bough. But yeah, so you can use them to actually help with parts of your, look at that. One of the people I think is really great at spot blacks is actually David Peterson too. The guy who created Mouse Guard is exceptionally good with his inks. Colors, but inks, yeah. His texture work is amazing. When he does like straw or twigs, any sort of like brick or anything like that. Like he has some sort of architecture background too, to where if he makes any structures in his comic, he usually actually makes them in real life. He has models and models that he's made out of like little pieces of wood and all that stuff. He makes it. Like other people just 3D model it. He literally makes it. So he has a good foundation of texture and stuff. And this is one of those things where if you guys really want to up your texture game, get out your sketchbook, honestly, and just start screwing around. Like, I don't want to keep using this paper because this paper is very not around anymore. I'll use a Post-it note. So if you got, you want to get something drawn today, but you're not feeling like doing anything that's a narrative or any sort of actual illustration. Let's say I was doing, here, if we're doing a leaf, let's say, right? So you got that there. And you can, use these sort of things to do that, and then like, having offshoots, things like that, but like, when you do actual dimensions, spot blacks can really help you. So if this is like wood, let's say, you can use them here to make it look more gouged, because otherwise, like if you're drawing the lines in and they're just kind of whatever, if you want to make it deeper, gouge it, and go in there and actually carve it out. Spot blacks do that, and usually you don't get people who are very early on in their art careers doing spot blacks, because it's something that kind of comes with confidence and time, and it's, you can start right now though, if you want to. It's just you have to have an understanding of shadow pretty good, and like shape, how things work with themselves, work within themselves. Well, you can have a ton of ideas in little time, or a ton of time in a little ton of time. Your time can put out better ideas than waiting time to find a great idea that can only go so far. Whoa, I gotta reread that. can have a ton of ideas in little time, or a ton of time and limited. I'm guessing you meant limited ideas. Time can put out better ideas. I don't believe in either of those, honestly. I think it's more how you are with how you think. You need to learn how to make ideas. And then you can do tons of ideas in a little time, tons of ideas in a lot of time, and then everything becomes obsolete. Just make sure your creative muscle is really strong. To do that, you need to make a lot of original content and learn what you're doing. Be aware of what you're doing, and then you're going to learn faster and better.
BT dubs, anybody who's still using Moleskin, dump them.
Yeah.
Dump them. They're overpriced.
Yeah,
the
they're
paper,
not worth it.
The paper is
sucks.
garbage.
And I told you that early on when you were
did,
using them.
but
it
was the best thing that I could use at the time because of the way that the sketchbook was built and designed. It's great design, but the paper itself is garbage. I just put a link in the thing for the sketchbooks that y'all should be getting. Stillman and Burn. Yeah. Anything from them is hot fire.
Yeah.
All right.
Paradox Moose brings up a good point that I'm going to extrapolate on a bit. So the guarding any sort of ideas, not even just video game ideas. If you're one of those people that doesn't want to put your ideas out because you're afraid of it getting stolen, get over it, okay? Realize it's already been done, or if that's your number one idea that you're so proud of and coveting, you've got a problem. Because if it's just one idea and you don't have any others, that's more of a problem than worrying about it getting stolen, because you need to learn how to make more ideas. You know, you should be making so many ideas and have so many ideas that if one gets stolen, you should be like, I got a ton more. Whatever. Let them have that one, you know? You're going to be an idea machine. So if you're the type to actually be afraid to put out your art or anything like that, get over it, okay? Because you're never going to get seen if you don't put it out there. Okay, you need to get in front of people's eyes. You need to get your stuff out there, or else it's never going to go anywhere. Like artists that have their profiles set to private.
That I don't get that.
What's that about?
Like when somebody follows me and it says art account and it's private, it's like, okay, well I'm not going to follow you. Sorry.
Yeah, I will never follow a private account. You know, well, okay, why?
Yeah, I'm calling you out, Mike.
Yeah, anyone who's using primarily digital, stop now. Another thing, stop now. At least go back to doing 50-50. Because traditional skills will always translate over into digital, and digital will not always translate to traditional. You're doing yourself a disservice by just doing digital. You need to learn the idea of permanence, okay? Permanence means putting something down and having to deal with it. I believe that true art is made out of mistakes, okay? If you make a mistake on paper, if you can work with that so much that it looks purposeful and looks like it should be there and it was intentional, that's art. You know, that's taking something that you've done and just going with the flow. That's what I think artists get used to that have done this a lot. And I think to do that, you know, Gabe is a huge proponent of this, and he actually taught me this, that drawing with pen, you know, not all the time, you don't have to do it all the time, but, you know, make an effort to draw with pen more often, because that's going to teach you that there's no going back, there's no undo. So make purposeful strokes, you know, be confident with your lines, and look at something that you made a mistake on and be like, you know what, I'll do better next time. There is always a next time. Your sketchbook should not be perfection either, okay? And we've always talked about this too, and for those people that are new here, if you've got the sketchbook performance anxiety, I'll call it, where you're afraid that your sketchbook isn't going to be perfect, you need to get over that too. To do that, here, I don't think I've really messed with this sketchbook yet.
Mike was using pen, like 90% of his sketchbook was pen. It was a moleskin, but...
And I told him about that. I was like, this is phenomenal. All right, look how beautiful this is. All right, this is a beautiful sketchbook. Okay? See how it's almost like a leather cover? I haven't really even touched this. I drew one thing in it, and it's actually Gabe. I did a little chibi of Gabe tending to his bonsai tree. But this is a brand new Midori, okay? I bought this separately from the inside. I put them together. This is totally a custom sketchbook, and it's gorgeous, right? Guess what? Look what I'm gonna do. This is a permanent marker. Look at that. Does that make you upset? Am I hurting you right now? Look at this. Look, let's draw something stupid over here, okay? Oh, here's a flower. Alright? I hope you're getting upset now. Do this to the first page. I guarantee you if you do this to the first page, the rest of the book will come a lot easier. And anything you draw in this book from this point on is going to be better than that. So you just put the bar up, okay? It's pretty low, but that's a good thing because anything you do is going to be above this bar, alright? If you have any sketchbook that you are afraid to actually do anything in, do this. And while you're doing it, think that you're, it's kind of a meditative thing, right? Be like, all right, I'm freeing this sketchbook of its perfection bounds or some crap, right? If you want to say a spell or some shit, go for it, whatever. But make it so it's ruined. Screw it up already. Make it so it's not perfect. Because then anything that goes in here is going to be fine. Just do it.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Show like this and this.
Why?
Because it's the book that I linked. That's this book right now. You can use gouache. What she just pointed at right there. That's gouache.
Do you want to explain what gouache is real quick?
Gouache is like
You want me to explain
watercolor meets acrylic, and you can reconstitute it. So whatever I've got there, I could go with a brush on there right now and like peel it off with water. Like probably like 75%.
Not peel it.
Not peel it, but like brush it off.
Yeah.
So you can reconstitute it. You can keep working it. But that thing takes watercolor like beautifully.
These are big, thick pages.
Yeah, they're very thick pages. It's ivory. They have a bright white version, but I like you going with the ivory because it gives you that nice feel immediately.
Yep. And then this one.
Yeah, and then that's just watercolor. It holds like thick washes like really really well. And I've seen a lot. I've used a lot of different watercolor sketchbooks, and nothing has touched the quality of that. They've got to be using some sort of little bit of cotton, actual cotton in there, because it holds up watercolor really well.
Alright, so this is Gabe. So if anybody is digging what you see here, tomorrow Gabe is going to be streaming at 4 p.m. Central on his Twitch, which is his name in the upper right corner there. And he usually does a lot of like robotic stuff or fun stuff. Usually it's kind of funny. Like you had one robot that was saying lyrics once. Look at these guys. So, your sketchbook's supposed to be messy. And I know mine didn't look messy, but that's because I've had other sketchbooks that are purposefully for mess, So real quick, I'm going to catch up in chat because there's a lot I've missed. I saw an advice article today that I thought was helpful. Suggested making a list of 5 words describing feelings you're trying to induce in your clients, followers, and I think the 5 words. That can help, Artemis, but at the same time, I don't think you should pigeonhole yourself in anything. I think once you do that, you're kind of setting yourself up for not doing things that you feel like doing. I really think your Instagram should be your extension of you and what you feel like doing at the time. So this goes on my little rant of, and I'll try to condense this, but your Instagram is a living thing. Things are meant to be buried. It is not a portfolio. If you are using your Instagram as a portfolio and you're scared to death to put anything up because it'll bury everything else, that's not what it's for. Your Instagram is meant to be a living, breathing thing that has things buried. It's meant for impermanence, right? It's meant to just have things just die and get buried.
It's literally a sketchbook.
It's a sketchbook. You're proving. Think of Instagram as you're proving you're creating all the time, okay? Now, if you're one of those people that's using it as a portfolio, get a legitimate portfolio site. Buy a domain. Make an actual website that has images that you've catered to show people. Show them your best work. Ideally under 20 images. You don't want to show them everything. You want to show them just what you want people to see, right? That's your portfolio site. Get an ArtStation, Behance, whatever you want. Just make sure it's a website that's for that. Now, if you want me to even further condense it, Instagram is quantity over quality. Your domain and your portfolio site is quality over quantity, okay? They're the exact opposite. Now, I used to hire people, okay, during my video game job. I used to hire people, and when they gave me more than one site, I would make sure their Instagram showed me they were producing often, because that showed me they couldn't help their passion, right? They have to create. And then their portfolio was what they deemed awesome out of this and put it over there, right? Like, here's what I do, it's cool, right? Do that. Don't use your Instagram as like this tomb. It's not what it's for. And even your Insta stories are even more of like a Buddhist sort of nothing is forever, everything is temporary, right? Mm-hmm. Do even more like rough stuff on there. Show people you're not perfect. Gabe and I are very tired of all these artists that make it look like everything they do is perfection. It's not. And we actually came to this conclusion when we went to England. We went to a museum where we saw Da Vinci's sketchbook. Okay, Da Vinci had a sketchbook, obviously. And in this sketchbook, he had blank pages. Some pages he had one thing drawn in a corner. There were other pages, it was just a fucking mess. That's a sketchbook, okay? And you gotta be, like, fearless of showing that to people. Alright, I'm going back to the chat. Hold on. I'm gonna talk about this again. Good, Crane. I'm really proud of you. Pixel Jive asks, these sketchbooks are cold press?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, they're... So, also, if you're using marker, do not use watercolor ever. Don't use watercolor paper ever. It's going to suck the life out of your markers. Make sure when you're using marker, you're using paper like this where it's really hard and dense and not porous or soft or fibrous. You want something like this because then your marker isn't going to get all the pigment sucked out, because that's what watercolor paper's for sucking out and holding pigment. Yeah, Eliza, it's totally freeing. It's kind of the same concept as charcoal when you were used to, made to use charcoal in like high school. It's so messy and just whatever that you have to kind of let go of the idea of perfection. And this is also why you're supposed to use, in my opinion, nothing lower than a 0.9 pencil unless you're specifically a graphite artist, okay? And you'll know when that time is. But Gabe and I use 0.9s and up because they keep you from getting too specific. If you're one of those people that draws an eye and then extrapolates from there, right, and draws the nose from the eye and the mouth, and you haven't even drawn in where the head's gonna go, Wrong. Stop doing that. You need a bigger lead, first of all. Use a bigger lead. Draw in lightly. For those of you who draw heavy, know you're supposed to draw like lightly 80% of the time, hard 20%. Once you know where everything is, no question, then you go back and you draw really hard, okay? If you're a heavy drawer, get some lighter lead.
Here's my biggest pet peeve with like younger artists is like you'll see the professionals, how they work. Nowadays, everyone has a video of how they start. But you insist on starting with the eyeball. Why are you doing this? Why? I don't understand it. Mm-hmm. Like, y'all watch videos 9 hours a day, and you still don't get it. I don't think they're actually watching the videos. They're probably on their phone.
If you're one of those people that's doing tutorials and studies more than you're doing actual art, flip them. Mm-hmm. Okay? You need to do more art. Get out and do it more than you're actually studying it. Because I assure you, if you're not applying those studies and you're just doing study after study after study, you're not good. You're not going to get good, okay? You need to actually apply it. And what I've told people is usually do a study as a piece, okay? Don't do something that's kind of standalone. It's lonely on your sketchbook page. It's just there. This was a study, and look what it became, okay? That could be whatever you do. You do a study, it turns out good. Not only that, but you learn something. You can sell it. And how is this a bad thing, right? Like, you understand things, the study's there, you learned from it, you know what you did wrong, you know what you're going to change for next time, you know? Make your studies into projects instead of just a study.
I see a lot of people do like a character piece, like a character concept of like, this is my, my character Trey. He's great, whatever, blah blah blah. But then all it is just a standing pose. It's like, no. Don't tell me how great he is. I want to just do a little scene of him being great. Then at least you're using composition. You're learning how to draw a background. You're putting other characters interacting with that character.
Hi, Phase Q. Sniggle, thank you for the bits. I saw it when it happened, but I was too deep to say something. Everybody apparently likes your sketchbook.
Oh, good. Get one.
Gabe does have a art book if you guys want it. Gabe, you want to put your art book in there? If you guys like the sketchbook I showed you a little bit ago, that was Gabe's, that was messy and nasty and cool. He has an art book from last year? Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
Thank you for the follow, Phase. And you can totally get that. And we have other books and stuff on our Etsy's, so yeah, feel free. Oh yeah, Alex, all of these are recorded. I'm a Twitch affiliate, which isn't a partner, but when you're affiliate, it records all of them. And I forward them to my YouTube. So no matter what, you can go back and look at my first one, which is a little rough, and you can see any of these. But yeah. Oh, Night Serenity,
Bye.
we miss you. Did you type in that it was Stillman and Byrne?
Yeah.
Okay, so Buggles, Gabe typed in that Stillman and Byrne for you.
Well, then I'll get you a link again, Buggles.
Night Fire Seal. Oh, I feel like I'm missing everybody when they leave. Damn. Mike is on point here.
What?
He put Stillman Byrne, Delta Softcover Sketchbook, Heavyweight 180, blah. Bye, Jaunty. Hi, Cute Peach. Yeah, everybody, if you want to put in your Instagram, feel free. Pixel asks, how did we meet?
God.
Long story. Short story is Gabe and I have known each other for like 15 years, and we recently started dating in the past 3 years. 3 years ago we started dating.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's
We're
bad.
together 24/7, so I feel like we've actually been dating at least 6 years, but it's only been 3. But yeah, we are together all the time. All the time! We even go to cons together. The only time we're not together is either if someone's in the bathroom or if we're at a con and we're not sitting next to each other. It's the only 2 times. Oh, Sniggle is Stream Boss. That's why you did the bits. You son of a bitch.
Sneaked in.
I'm still catching up in chat.
Why's everyone leaving? Probably because it's bedtime for some people.
So moleskin is crap because it's so thin. If
It's just-
nothing else, it's just thin and it's not like...
It's also the paper. Okay, so there are 2 versions. There's one with really thick paper, and there's one with really thin paper. And the really thin paper, like, it has really awful show-through. By show-through, I mean you use a Bic pen and you can see through the other side. The thick version, if you use an eraser on it, it erases the yellow, like, tint that's on the damn page.
Yeah.
And it's really waxy, so some...
This is a Gabe rant.
Yeah, some things that some utensils that you use on it, not so great. Yeah, I don't know, like, there's a better caliber for the price that you pay for that, for those books, not worth it.
That's
Absolutely
probably a better
not.
way to put it.
Yeah.
For the price that you pay.
Yeah.
Nightshade.
Nightshade, what the hell?
What? Oh my god, he killed him! Oh my god, Nightshade!
In one hit?
Mwah.
Was it just one hit? Or
Yeah,
was he
that
healing
was
himself?
a TKO. That's what that was. Holy shit!
It's like Nightshade, you hit him right in the stomach.
Yeah.
Like he's
Burst
got,
into pogs.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have been stream boss so many times that I think it's comical at this point. Thank you, Nightshade. Holy crap. Thank you. We appreciate it. Yeah, Alex, we know it's 12. I feel bad, but I mean, Serenity was up at 6 a.m. because her sleep schedule's nuts and she's in Germany. So, However, okay, so just so you guys know, Mondays and Tuesdays, aka yesterday and today, our streams are at 9 p.m. CST. But if you want an earlier stream, tomorrow and the next day, we stream at 4 p.m. CST. So, come on the days you want, but I assure you, if you miss a stream, you're going to miss a lot of shit. Usually we go over stuff. But someone got killed. Yeah, Wade. So Sniggle ended up being the stream boss because I think he knocked out Lung. It might have been Lung.
I think so.
And then Nightshade totally came in, TKO'd Sniggle with one donation thing. So, ayy. So thank you, Nightshade. And Sniggle, Gabe is going to be doing your commission thing this week.
Yes.
And I'm going to be sending out your commission this week that you got from me. So, no worries on that. And Artemis, I will be getting back to your email in the next couple days. I hope that's okay. Things have been crazy for me lately. It's really weird. I thought actually going freelance would be a lot less hectic than having a day job, but it is more hectic by far. It's really crazy. You forgot to renew, Sniggle. Oh no. Well, you still get your card. You know that. How much is a bit? Yeah, it's a cent. So 1,000 bits is $10. So Nightshade gave me $20 and a cent because he's a saint. So thank you, Nightshade. So I'm using microns on these, but Gabe is kind of a pen snob, we'll call it. And since he uses ink way more than me, and if you do use ink a lot, you should really do what he does. I don't do it enough to really necessitate what he uses, but Gabe uses rot rings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isographs. Do you want to explain those?
Do you want to show it?
I can show it, but tomorrow, if you want to learn more about this, he can explain a lot more. He's the pen guy. So these are technically microns that you can refill. Think about it that way.
But also the
tip, right?
Yeah, the tip is stainless steel, so it doesn't go bad, I guess.
So if you've ever used a micron, sometimes the tips of the micron get frayed or effed up, you know? With these, they're a lot better quality, they're worth the money, and like I said, you can refill them. So you can get all the same sizes that Micron has, but if you go through pens like mad and you're buying Microns like every couple weeks to a month or something, this is probably way more in your, I don't know, it should be in your life, I guess. Yeah, highly recommend it. Everybody's freaking out. Oh, you have a good night too. Thanks for coming, Ramon.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate you guys stopping by.
Yeah, man. We'll see you next time.
And don't feel bad if you guys eventually drop off and don't come to
yeah.
the streams anymore. We know we're a little too much. So don't ever feel bad about that, or if you can't come to a stream. Like I said, they're technically kept in the past videos on my and Gabe's channels, so you can always rewatch them. So, but thank you for coming. Pixel says repeatographs always clog. Do these clog?
I haven't had a clogging problem. Also, that could just be the ink that you're using. I don't know what kind of ink you're using, but I know I had a repeatograph, had several, and I would have problems with it clogging. But that's because I was an idiot, and I was using acrylic ink, which sometimes can do that.
Yeah.
So, now I use a ink. It's a carbon ink from Platinum, but
is that Heart of Darkness?
no, that's Noodlers.
Oh.
But yeah, like I guess any fountain pen ink won't clog it.
Hey, schmuck.
I think they are designed a bit differently, Pixel.
Oh, they said, not gonna lie, leave them in my car a lot.
Uh,
So don't leave them in your car, and also keep them vertical.
Oh, that's another big thing. Yeah, keep them vertical.
Keep them vertical, because the one you even gave me,
Yeah.
which is still, I think, in here,
Uh-huh.
yeah, the point 2. Keep them vertical, because if they get like this, they're going to do that thing where they splooge, and they kind of go everywhere. And I mean, with any pen at all, remember to test it before you go into your drawing regardless, because you want to make sure there's nothing that's messed up there before you do.
But yeah, no, the these are designed a bit differently. I think they're a little more. I think the design is a little bit better. I think they built on Rapidograph's design, and they just made it a little bit better. Because I've got several of the Rapidographs, and I also had the same problem at some point.
I hate that word.
Yeah, it is a stupid word.
It's a stupid word. It's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cool. I should really rename it.
Actually, these are way easier to clean too, because they
And the fountain pen?
well,
Or
no,
what do
like
you
the
It's easier to clean than...
I mean, yeah, they're not that hard actually.
But then what? What do you mean?
Than the Rapidograph, I guess.
Oh, the isograph versus
Yeah, because you can break them apart. I mean, not break them apart, but you can break them down to like all the bare bones parts or whatever. So
dissect them?
yeah, you can dissect them, but I don't know. I haven't had a problem with them.
You do take stupid good care of your pens, though.
Sort of.
Well, more than anyone I've ever known.
Yeah. But yeah, the feeding needle is the one that you got to be careful with. Because I ended up jamming one of my older ones recently. One of the Rapidographs, I ended up jamming the needle, so I can't use that one anymore. But that's alright. I wasn't using that one anyways. It was like
so they are kind of fragile, you'd say?
Yeah, like if you're the most fragile part is the feeding needle, which is like inside the entire mechanism, because you pull that out as you're cleaning it, and it's literally just a piece of wire, with really thin like gauge wire. So if you bend that, then it's gone.
And it's like what, a $30 pen or something?
Yeah. Ultrasonic cleaner. I don't even know what that is, but yeah, I've never had them like super clogged. I mean, the only time I've ever had them super clogged is these ones that I just found that have been sitting in my supplies for like years.
What are you guys doing right now? Let us know what y'all doing. And if you're someone here that found me at SuperCon, I'd love to hear. Even if you're a lurker, just say, I saw you at SuperCon, and that's it. I'm just curious.
Paladin.
Good morning, Paladin.
Hey,
How
buddy.
are you? I have not forgotten about your animation, okay? I just got back last night at 2 a.m., so you'll get it this week, I swear to God. And if not, I'm a douche.
I'm sure he knows.
Katie's working on commissions. Good job, Katie. Kick him out. Oh no, nice shade. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. You can do it. I believe in you. You should have seen Gabe with Ocarina of Time, man. You and puzzles.
No, man, it's just that those, it wasn't even the puzzles. I was fine with the puzzles. It was the, where do I go next? Like, they don't give you no, like...
Yeah, it was hard mode back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm mad that, okay, so in the newer Majora's Mask on, what is it, 3DS?
Yeah.
On 3DS, they give you like an itinerary now that keeps track of everything for you, where when we played it on the N64 back in the day, you didn't have that. You had to like write down, well, this guy goes to this place at noon on day 2, and you need to intervene between him and this other guy before this happens, and blah blah blah, and it's... Gabe's got easy mode, man. How was our week? our week was good. Aw. Sniggle, did you not have work tonight? Ooh, sketching humans. Good job, Eliza. Right, Sniggle? Yeah. So... Oh, you're off today. Good. Our week was good. SuperCon was kind of a bust, but in terms of the people we met and the experiences we had, it was worth it. However, I don't think we'd get that again, unfortunately, if we, went back and all that, but it was definitely a good experience, and we did break even at least, so that's good. But yeah, like I said, it's a little bit... It's hard to take those kind of cons, after because it's kind of a loss, but it's not a total loss, I guess. I don't know, I think I'm rambling at this point.
Well,
but
it also sucks because it's also a lot. If anything, if we break even, it's still a loss of our time at that point.
It really is, yeah. So at least we met some great people. However, I never want to go to the state of Florida again if I can help it. It is very much against my body type and all I'm comfortable with. It's a very uncomfortable state. And everybody from Florida I've talked to seems to say the same thing, which, y'all crazy. I don't get how you do it. But like I said before, mad respect. Yeah. Oh no, Sniggle. Oh, bye, Crane. Goodbye forever.
Okay.
The lilac ombre with brown hair. I mean, it's pretty. It's pretty. I'm very much over my colored hair phase, though. I did that when I was, young, and I did what I wanted to with it, and I don't know, I've got my opinions on it now with just coloring your hair in general, but they're my opinions and, whatever, but, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty. I just want to do it myself. I really like my natural hair color nowadays. I'm super just digging what it is. I'm proud to be whatever I am at the moment. I don't know. Sketching, I'm working my butt off on my art. Yeah, so Progdor, you've got an interesting case though, where you're gonna need it for a little while because you're starting from scratch basically. So if you need to use reference more often, go ahead because, with you specifically in your journey, you're going to need it a little more because you're starting at the beginning. So you're going to have trouble thinking of original ideas right off the bat. That's going to come with time and with learning how to see things differently, or being inspired by things. Awasagi. Where do we live? We're in Wisconsin. In the United States. I keep forgetting to say United States. We're in the United States in Wisconsin. So, technically, the good old Midwest. And today was beautiful weather to welcome us home, and I was so happy about it.
Alex, do you mean inking or lining? Or, I don't know.
Yeah, Mr. Comic Artist doesn't even know what he's talking about.
No, I mean, I guess it
What do you mean material? Like, as in references? So I learned a lot of my ink stuff, let's say, from, there's this really good David Peterson breakdown that he did of all his textures he uses. I'll see if I can find it. But really, it's looking at how other people kind of treat, how they treat textures, and then figuring out how you can do textures. So, if you see... I'm looking around for something. Like, if you see something, okay, example. If I were you, Alex, I would use maybe 2 different kinds of, pens. One that's thicker, one that's thinner. Like, I've got a 005 here and a 03 that I've been using for all of these to keep them consistent. Remember I was telling you guys earlier about consistency. And then for these really dark outlines, going over them again with the 03. But look at a texture. Go look up a stone, right? And look at a stone and see what pops out to you. Do you see divots? If you see divots, draw the divots. If, You know, you want to try hatching. Maybe draw the same stone 5 times and try one with hatching, try one with pointillism, try one with stippling, like all this sort of stuff, right? And see what feels right to you. Because you're going to eventually take on your own inking style like you would anything. But by doing that, you have to try different things and see what feels the most stone-like to you and all that. I'm going to try to find you this resource real quick, though, that I used. And really, I didn't use it exclusively. Like, when I say use it, I looked at it. I didn't draw what he drew, but I tried to see what he saw, okay? Let me see if I can find it, though. It was a breakdown of a certain drawing he did, and I'm trying to see it. It might have been this one. So give me a minute. I mean, you know what? Honestly, I'm just going to give you this Google page. So that was my problem, Alex, when I was starting to want to get better at inking, because I really love ink. Like, I really love it. My problem was I couldn't find good resources. Like, when do you use hatching? When do you use spot blacks? When do you use this for a certain type of texture? Nothing really exists for that. And when I found that one David Peterson thing I'm talking about, it was the nicest, most comprehensive breakdown I've seen of different textures with pen, because no one's doing it, and I think they're scared of people using it or something.
I have that if you want it.
Do you? Oh,
yeah,
God.
I keep it on my desktop.
Yeah, but it's not online. I'm trying to find online links.
I mean, I'll throw it on my...
That would be wonderful, because this one thing really opened my eyes to the fact that I kind of had to do it for myself. And I had to figure it out, and it wasn't easy, and it took me a while to figure out what worked for me, as well as doing it for you. Because something I ink a certain way may not work the same for you. And honestly, David Peterson's blog is just so good for seeing what he does. I respect the guy a ton. Like I said, I'm not crazy about his color work, just because usually he renders it and I wish he'd just do flats. But he does a lot of cool stuff. Did you already paste it?
Yep.
Okay. Say's crew, can I see your comments?
Yeah,
yes.
Why would you, why are you scared of getting killed? I'm more scared of getting killed in California than...
Yeah. Sorry, buddy. Honestly, I was telling Gabe this. Florida feels like the southeast version of California.
Yeah.
Like, Florida is the East Coast California. Because we've been to both, and California is just Florida without the humidity. All the people seem like the same, all that stuff. Like, it was really weird.
I mean, I guess I'd be more afraid of getting eaten by an alligator.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I mean, I've been in parts of LA that... Or Oakland.
Nope.
Or, I mean... I guess I can't really think of other spots. I don't know the names of the other spots, but definitely where my cousins live. Nope.
Yeah, I don't know, parts that were scary. Yeah, right, Kinetic? So, when I'm talking about spot blacks and stuff... Oh, my camera's lagging. So, in these areas, when you start actually doing this stuff, and you start getting used to actually putting shadows down as spot blacks or as hatching, there was a time where I was too scared to do spot blacks, so I was doing everything with hatch work, and that gets messy. And you guys know my stance on detail. Too much detail can be a terrible thing. And what sucks is everyone seems to be swayed by detail. Like, all my prints that are overly detailed, people are always like, oh my god, that's so detailed, it's so good, I'm freaking out. And really, the thing is, with detail, you have to know how to dial it appropriately, because you want to lead the eye to the spots you want people to look, and usually the spots with the most detail are going to draw the eye. So a good artist will know how to dial that. You don't detail the entire thing. As you can see here, I have a lot of parts that are not various points of detail, right? Like the leaves, there's no detail there, you know, but the wood has some. Even on some wood pieces there aren't. But you have to know how to dial it to lead an eye throughout a piece. If you detailed the entire thing just because you thought detail equals better quality, no. People aren't going to know where to look, it's going to be too busy, and they're going to actually get overwhelmed and not even know that's why they don't like the piece, and they'll walk away. So you don't think that detail means better, okay? Two things. Detail does not equal a better piece, and time spent on a piece does not equal a better piece. These two things are super important to learn because this took me forever to figure out. And I think it was just the beginning of this year, really. We both agreed that, you know, time spent on something does not make it better. Okay, you can work 300 hours on something. Like, we had a friend that worked 300 hours on something. And to me, that didn't say it was a better piece. To me, that said, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You know, you're messing around with it so much, you don't know what you're doing. Bragging about how much time you spent doesn't make it a better piece. Gabe can do amazing paintings in 15 minutes, half an hour. Sometimes less is more in a lot of cases, especially with like paint and stuff. If you know a silhouette or shape work so well that it takes you less time to do it, but you still get across the point where people are like, this must have taken you forever. Nope. I just know it really well. It's like the more you know, the faster it'll be, right? For the most part. There are some instances, though, caveat, where, you know, even if you know something, it takes a long time to render. That's fine. But 300 hours on something that's a certain size or a certain medium,
Hey, Pixel. I am in costume. Like, you think I look like this normally?
Well, first of all, this is not Gabe's channel. This is my channel. I'm in costume. This is my brand, right? So I'm a brand. He's my, like, co-DJ, right? And sometimes he is in costume. Sometimes he wears this Novakin mask, okay? So it's Clovakin
I should just wear that one on your stream.
That's what I'm thinking, but you get too hot in that.
No, that's fine.
Gabe isn't even Mexican. What? Sniggle, what?
Oh, okay. I was like, somebody other than Sniggle said that, I'm gonna fight them.
Yeah, so...
Alright, Pixel. Just for you, Pixel. Is that better? Is that better?
Okay, so Eliza, if your men are turning out too feminine, go really extreme on a guy.
Get some more testosterone.
Go draw a man that is super buff, super built, structured, or a guy that's super fat, where they don't even have, like, an actual shape anymore. Go draw that for a bit.
Draw the Rock.
Draw the Rock, something like that, and come back. So drawing the extreme then will help you to figure out the breadth of what in between would be, okay? And then you'll be able to dial it easier because you'll have drawn the extremes, right? Humans tend to be easier, in my opinion, than animals. I find animals could be harder. And that's because you've got a human. Every human, male, female, whatever, is the same, like, pieces, right? You got a head, you got 2 arms, you got 2 legs. You got a human, right? Once you figure out how to draw a female and a male, it's just dialing certain areas, right? Now, animals, so much different, right? Every animal you do, a fish, an antelope, an elephant, a dog, a bird, all these things have different proponents, right?
Even within the dogs.
Even within the dogs. So every breed is like a different species, right? Because they are technically a different species, like, you know, birds and dogs and whatever. Humans are, you know, when you think of humans like this, it'll make it a little bit easier. Because it's not like drawing a dog and then drawing a bird and then drawing a fish where you're learning completely different anatomy. Once you know that something has the same parts, just play them. Draw a girl without boobs. I mean, that's still a girl, though. Some girls don't have boobs, Phase.
Somebody...
You got Clovakin and Dovakin. I know, right, Alex? For me, it's easy too. And I think that's because we know how to stylize things. For someone just starting out, I think animals are a lot harder. But humans, I think people are scared of because they are us. You know, we're afraid to not get likenesses appropriate and stuff. Just remember to not do it too seriously. I feel like everybody drawing humans is like, I gotta make it super realistic, I gotta blah, 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 blah. Have some fun with it. You know, don't forget that, you know, you're drawing because it's fun, right? Drawing's fun.
Maybe.
You should be drawing because it's fun. Don't forget that. Like, remember when you were a kid and you were drawing because it was fun, it was something to do. You know, you didn't care if you were good or not, you were having fun. If you can kind of channel and remember that childlike charm with it, things will get a lot easier. Yeah, tacos are hard too. Well, unless you're me, who's drawn 1 million doggos. I forget if I've had So I mean, dogs and stuff break down pretty easily. Like once you've that's weird. I've got this piece right here. So when you've actually drawn animals or humans or anything over and over and over again, you figure out hacks for them. And this is why Gabe and I say draw more than doing just studies, because when you draw, like, you're retaining things. So when I draw my pet commissions, which I don't know how many of you are familiar with, if you want to see examples, let me know.
Okay, you're right, this gets hot.
I told you, you get warm with just a regular beanie on.
Come back.
So I mean, you figure out pieces of everything, you know, when you draw it a bunch of times. You figure out how to sum up, you know? When you've said something 1 million times, you know how to paraphrase it, right? Same thing with drawing, you know? Granted, this should be further back, but... So if he's crouching, like dogs have these... Dogs and cats, actually. And I don't draw furries. These are just humanoid animals. It's different. I've had fights with people about this. So like, let's say it was a fox, okay? So once you've drawn something a lot of times, you know how to sum up how to do something, right? Same thing. So just start drawing things a lot, and you know what shapes things will be to get across the point, all that stuff. The hardest part's gonna be remembering how to do, like, what's it called? Foreshortening. Sorry, it took me a minute. But anyway, remember to draw loose too. Remember, this is a 0.9. Don't give a shit about detail yet. You should not care about detail until you know where everything's gonna be. Like, even now, I still wouldn't do detail. Like, if I did a pauldron here, figured out where the rest of his, like, tunic would be, you know, belts, whatever, I still wouldn't do anything detailed until I knew where everything was. Then, okay, Gabe actually thought of this analogy, and it's the best analogy ever. When a sculptor gets a giant slab of marble, does he go straight in to do the eye and, like, carve out the eye? No. No, he has to pick away at the entire thing to get the generic shape down, right? And then he needs to start blocking out where a belt would be. He's not doing the buckle yet. He's not doing anything like that. He's still blocking out where stuff's going to be. You need to go general to specific, not the other way around, or else you're going to lose sight of the picture. So if you're one of those people that starts with the eye and you're doing this thing, you're like, oh yeah, this is looking pretty good, blah, blah, blah. Oh man, this is going to be a good picture. And then you're like, okay, I got to do the nose. That should be maybe over here. And then let's say you draw on the nose, and then you get further, you know, through the picture, and it's starting to look, it looks really static when you do it that way, right? Because you're kind of guessing, you're not sure where things are. Instead of doing that, because this is a no-no, okay? Don't do that. Do the thing where you block things out. Figure out where the shape's going to be, where it's going to be looking, where are the parts of it, where's the ear, where's the hairline, who is this, is it a boy or a girl? That depends on the jawline and, like, the chin here. And then, well, the nose is here about, eyes are here, so you're going to have a lot more of a map, because it's very much a map, right? So you're doing this, and you're figuring out where stuff goes, Oh, that's drawn elf. There you go. Yeah, elf style. Alright. So you see the difference? Like this one even has more life in it already. Because you have the confidence in knowing where stuff's gonna go. Right? So don't forget that, because I mean it's your roadmap, and you know when you know where you're going, you're confident, right? So so whatever. Anyway, yeah, that's not me though. I'm not trying to. Well, now it's me. There we go. Didn't mean to do that, but it happened. Right, Phase? That's what this one is. This one that I did. Where is it? I just had it. What the fuck? Oh, it's sitting under this one. Okay, so remember what I told you guys? Start small. Okay? Always start small. If you're starting a new medium, start cheap and start small. Buy the cheapest version of it if you can. Like if you're starting gouache, buy it at Michael's for like 15 bucks. And then if you like how it works, go buy the expensive stuff. There's no reason you gotta spend tons of money on something you don't know you like right away, right? Same with sketchbooks. If you are new to drawing or starting a new medium or anything like that, start small. Because if you start too big and you're not good at composition or you're not good at silhouettes or shape work and you're doing it on something huge, it's gonna look like crap, okay? Like you need to start small, understand how these things work, fail faster. Okay, with something small, you're gonna fail a lot faster than if you're doing something on like a 14 by 14 canvas, okay? Seriously, make it small so you fail faster, and then you'll do a lot better. And you'll grow quicker too, and then you'll know when you need a bigger sketchbook because you'll be pushing the lines. Can you actually go grab my other sketchbook that's in my satchel, my bigger one? Yeah.
Brown?
Yep. The only one that's in there. Okay. So, move that out of the way so I don't hurt that. This is one of my other sketchbooks. I ripped out basically every page in this because this is my commission sketchbook. But, and here's just a random ripped out page I can use for whatever. Okay. Well, these are my marcher robots. They're kind of cute. So, to explain what it'll probably look like when you get too big for your britches, we'll say. I think it's in here. It's either in here or another sketchbook. Shit, that might be in my other one. Damn it. Alright, well, example that I've got in here already. These are getting pretty close to the edges, right? When you're drawing stuff that's either getting close to the edges or you're designing it to the point where, yeah, look at this. See, he's basically to the edge. And you're designing it so it fits in the paper. Like, I didn't put this emu's neck out more because, uh-oh, it would have hit the paper. So this is telling me, because I'm literally scrunching everything in, that I can move up to bigger paper. Okay, so you'll know. Your paper will tell you when you can actually level up, you know? Your gear is no longer helping you, right? If this were an RPG, let's say. You got people waiting. You gotta go to the store. Sniggle, what's happening? Are you doing a drug deal?
This late?
Yeah, what's up?
I mean, I guess drug deals at night, okay, but...
Hey, Pylon. Aw, thanks, Mike. Which piece? The one with the emu or the one with the guy casting? I don't know where my other one went. Because that one had some fun ones in it. I'll have to find my other sketchbook with my casters, but... Anyway, the emu? Gotcha. I'm glad glad you like that one. That one's a good one in my opinion too. I like it. It's fun. That dream though, there was I should refine that stream, because the stream where I actually like do the interpretation of it, like we were talking about, I flip out. Like once I realize what I think it meant, I wig out on stream. It's pretty fun. It's actually spelled EMU. Close though. I literally get so much from tonight. Aw, Snaggle. What does he need? Totino's pizza rolls? I get it. Well, thanks, Mike. I'm glad you liked that one. Oops, see, this is a problem here. Alright, I'm probably going to be ending the stream soon because we've covered all the topics I wanted to, and I gotta go work on commissions. And I'll probably be coloring a commission or two on the stream on Thursday. So feel free to stop by then. And then tomorrow, Gabe will be streaming his usual time, 4 p.m. You guys learn a lot this stream today? I hope so. I hope I said some good stuff. A lot of what I end up saying on my streams is repetition, but I think it definitely bears repeating, especially the detail versus time thing, and the Instagram thing where you're not supposed to treat it like a portfolio. Big proponent of that one. Holy crap. Definitely. Speaking of drug deals, I'm going to work on my bios, so I used to find them Go do that reference. Moving stuff. Cute, Pylon. Good for you. So wait, because that leather binding actually looked like a lot of the covers we have here in the US. Like, it looks like you just took apart another sketchbook and put that one together, but you actually took real leather and made all those attachments to it? Did you really? Because I think I have a sketchbook that actually looks just like that I got at like Barnes & Noble. So, I mean, if you made that, that's damn good. Doing commissions during conventions. No. If I look at my commission board right now, I've got about 30 commissions that I've got up. I have slips that I take at the con, and I tell them the estimated time. I actually have a mentorship too, just in case anyone's wondering. And one of them is commissions. So what I do though is I take the order, and you take the full payment right away, unless you also do it through Patreon, which I do a pay over time option through Patreon. It makes things a lot better for some people. But if you take the commission at the con, give them, a time or whatever, and then you can either have them email you all the information they need to give you about the commission. Like if it's an original character, tell them, okay, email me all the reference images you have about this character, and then, I'll do it and whatever, and then give me your shipping address and I'll ship it to you, all that sort of stuff. I used to do my pet commissions at the convention. No. Because your attention then is divided, first of all, and you should really be completely 100% present in your booth while you're there. It's your job, right? For that weekend, it's your job. So give it 100% of your attention, and take either the commissions back and do them at the hotel room or something. I highly suggest not doing that either, because then you're wasting your nights, not relaxing and recouping for the next day. So I highly recommend taking the order at the con and doing it later when you get home. Take a day off from the con when you get back, which we never do anymore, and we really should. And then the next day, start doing the commissions, okay? For me, I usually say it's a 4 to 6 month wait unless you pay a fast fee and get it within 2 or 3 weeks, that sort of thing. Some people need it for like a birthday or something, some other stuff, but I can talk about that during a mentorship, but yeah. Ooh, Pixel, what are we talking about? Put what together? Wow, that's crazy, Pylon. Good job. Bye, Sniggle! Do you guys know of any historically famous artists, painters, sculptors who aren't horrible people?
I mean, what makes them horrible?
Well, probably because Da Vinci and Little Boys and Van Gogh and cutting his ear and Dali.
I don't understand because, like, what sucks is that over time, it's only the bad things that stick around, you know? And, like, unfortunately, history is bullshit and,
Oh, so Pixel, I'm saying you can do the portfolio thing on Instagram, but don't just keep it as a portfolio. So, like, let's say on mine, right? Let's use mine as an example. So, on my Instagram, I have these ink ones to show that I'm doing stuff. I've got work in progresses here, and then the final versions, right? And then I've got really nicely rendered stuff that I've got up here. This saturation's crazy. Then I have really rough stuff from my Journey June. But you can see, like, I do have really nice stuff up here too. And I think it's fine to go the other way, where you put portfolio stuff on your Instagram and also have a lot of in-progress stuff. But I'm saying when you use your Instagram solely for portfolio and it's just rendered pieces, and let's say these two were the only things I had on there among other things, but like this one was done a week ago and then the one before that was done 2 months ago, right? If you have like months in between each of your posts or weeks, no, I'm not gonna think highly of you in an interview, okay? It shows me you're not producing a lot, and that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Eliza, I would have to think about it. Because, yeah, Katie's right. Van Gogh wasn't horrible, he was just sick. So I think a lot of them back in the day had probably mental health issues that they didn't have proper medication for or treatment for. And, they couldn't get that fixed.
I mean, look at Kanye.
I don't want to look at Kanye.
He's got mental issues. He's come out. He's told people that he's got mental issues.
Yeah.
Is he trying to fix them now? I don't know. But maybe.
But I don't know. I don't think saying like just artists in general, because everybody's got problems. I mean, it's probably kind of unfair of us to just say like, why is it them? Because it's everybody. Musicians too.
So who was a pedophile?
I think Da Vinci was into little boys.
Oh.
If I remember right. I don't know. See, I could be wrong. I have no idea.
See, and then it's like, I wonder what Little Boys was. Like, was it like, because back then, like, people got married at like 13, 12, 11 and shit,
Well, and I think it was as apprentices. So when you have apprentices. But, I mean, either way, we don't know enough about it to put something down on it, but I don't know. Wasn't Frida Kahlo good? She was good, wasn't she? I don't think Dali had anything crazy. But yeah, don't quote me on the Da Vinci thing. Go look that up. I don't know if that's completely true.
I think point being, you're going to be hard pressed to find an artist.
No, I wouldn't even say
anyone.
That's why I said anyone. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got problems. Mm-hmm. So, it's Michelangelo. Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, I think it was, because he had a lot of nude male models. But yeah, like I said, I think hard pressed to find anyone without any problems, really. But yeah, especially in the medieval ages, and I don't know, everybody messed up back then. No. Phase, no. What? Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting because some artists have been maybe martyred So Georgia O'Keeffe was very well known for her paintings because people started painting her as an icon of feminism, because they kept seeing her flower paintings as female genitalia and saw that as like, oh, this is like a part of the feminist movement and all that stuff. Well, I was really curious about that and if she actually intended to do that. So I actually looked it up. She didn't exactly intend for that at all. She just really liked drawing flowers. And people kind of took it out of context, implied what they would with it, and that ended up kind of being that. Like, now she's known for that, and maybe she didn't even try to do that, you know?
Now she's dead.
Yeah, and she can't even defend herself, you know? So, I don't know. Your art is going to do what it's going to do well after you're gone, so, I don't know.
So don't worry about it. Just draw.
Just draw. Who cares if you're going to be... all your drawings are going to be seen as, like, some sort of genitalia. I don't know.
I mean, I draw genitalia all the time.
No, you don't. Don't tell people that. Gabe draws fart jokes, basically, all the time. That's different.
Maybe in the future they'll think that I'm a communist. I don't know.
What?
That's what I'm saying. Like, things can just get misconstrued. Oh, well, he draws fart jokes all the time. That must mean that he wants to, you know, include everyone in the joke.
I don't understand what Gabe's talking about.
No.
But yeah, you guys get what we're saying. It's true, man. No, you're right. And I mean, my other bit of advice here is if you're someone who enjoys drawing porn or erotica or anything like that, just make sure if you've got a more serious art name or profile or brand that you separate the two, and you know, you do one way and one the other, because you know, one day you might not want to draw porn anymore, so you want to go back to your other pre-established name.
It's hard to come back from.
Yeah, we know people where it's hard to come back from that. So have two different aliases, we'll say, two different brands for whatever. You know, that's a smart way to do stuff.
Remember that porn star that tried to become a cosplayer?
No. Wait, Sarah Underwood?
No. No, she's like a Playboy girl or whatever, I think.
Well, you said porn star.
No. Like a legit one.
Oh.
And she was like, she gave up doing porn, and she just started doing a cosplay, and she would go to shows.
Oh no.
Yeah, and do cosplay.
Ooh.
And then she was supposed to be at a free comic book day. And remember, and Andy was gonna go to it.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to finish that story for the people that aren't familiar?
Oh, so there's some porn star decided, like, I'm done with porn, so I want to be a cosplayer because I like comics, and she was trying to do shows and trying to do like free comic book day where she would go and dressed up as like Wonder Woman or whatever, and she was having a lot of trouble because, you know, she was
the comic people wouldn't let her into their store because she was a porn star.
Yeah, she was very much a porn star, and she was still under the same name, which is really
that's stupid.
dumb.
See, and that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So make sure if you do that sort of thing, or even if it's not porn, if it's just something that's either taboo or even unrelated. Let's say you have a sculpting thing. Maybe, you know, if you want that to be separate, then your art thing, it's the same sort of thing. You don't want to cross over products that are too different. Like for me, I've made jewelry in the past. I don't want my illustration to look watered down by adding in the fact I also do jewelry. If I put that up on my Cloverkin account, that's going to look like I divide my time, right? Unless I just have illustration up. So I created a different Etsy completely for my jewelry, so you wouldn't even know it, right? That's smarter, because if one fails, whatever, if it, you know, it'll look like that's all you do, right? So for that one thing, so that's more important to have that kind of reputation. Let's see.
Somebody was saying that you gotta be a horrible person. I think the problem is that it's not that they're horrible people, is that all the all the dirt comes out about them because now
Once they
they're
get famous.
famous. So let's
Yeah.
let's see what we can find that's dirty on them.
And, you know, like we said, everybody's got some kind of dirt or something. And, you know, you're not doing anything right if you're not making a few enemies either,
Yeah.
that whole thing. So, of course, even if Gabe or I ever got famous, I'm sure something would come out at some point about something. I don't know. I don't know what people would say about me. I mean, I've got enemies just like anyone, but why are you laughing about that?
No, every time somebody says that, there's a Drake song that sticks out of my head. It's
I've
like
got
one of the only
enemies?
ones.
Yeah?
It's like, got a lot of enemies, got a lot of enemies. It's like, alright, okay, calm down, Drake, calm down. Get back in your
He's right.
wheelchair.
I mean, you don't get anywhere by not making enemies.
Exactly.
You gotta make friends too, so hopefully you're kind of balancing the two.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you're gonna make enemies. Like, I've made a ton of enemies, but I'm not a terrible person. It's just people are gonna think of what you think of differently sometimes. It's all a matter of perspective. As Mike laughs. Mike knows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of the people in this chat even know about me and what makes me have enemies a lot more often. Oh shit, I was gonna talk about that tonight. I'll do it Thursday. Never mind. I mean, Pylon, I'm sure there are people that don't like you for a certain stance you have or something. Or the fact you might combat them or fight them on certain things. I'm sure you have enemies. You might just not know it. Thank you, Drew, for the follow. Gabe just made this cool thing. I have no idea what it is. A bird?
Well, yeah, I guess it's like a bird dude.
I enjoy it. Your detailing is very smooth. Is he looks like a little totem.
Yeah, that's how
This is actually a cool game piece. Like, you gotta solidify the back here.
Yeah, I'm still working on the back because I gotta. Yeah.
See, this is where knowledge of folds comes in handy, and this is where I'm super curious to see how Gabe handles this. Because I know how I would do the folds in the back, but I don't think you would.
I don't know if I'm gonna have folds. It might just come down.
I would do folds.
It's not.
There's one fold that you've already got kind of working there.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
People I would duel. No, that's not how it should be. Because you can have an enemy but not want to fight them. You know, there are some people I just want to go away. I wouldn't want to fight them. I just want them to go away. That does make me think you don't have actual enemies that you know of. Because I think if you did, you know, there would be some people you just want to poof disappear. I just like some people I don't want to even see again. Test subject 0, hello. Shannara, never seen it. I am Cloverkin. I am my own elf. I get Zelda a lot too, but I'm not Zelda. I like Zelda, but I'm not Zelda. But thank you for joining us tonight. Oh, you'll be on tomorrow for Gabe stream? Awesome! Bye, Mike!
Ooh,
Have
bye,
a good night.
dude.
Have a good sleep. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, man.
We missed you forever. Thank you for supporting the Goodwill mission.
Mm-hmm.
Do the South States have Goodwills? They have to, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like a statewide or a country-wide thing.
Yeah. Okay. So they know what I'm talking about. I don't know why I think it's only a Midwest thing. Okay, you do. Good. It's true, Paladin. There are people like that, aren't there? Too bad too many people know they're gone, and all eyes would point to me. Oops. Maybe. They're starting to get known, though. A couple of the ones I'm about for being bad people. So.
Oh, speaking of bad people, Paladin.
Whoa.
How's that? Not
Hey.
you. I'm not saying you, but how's that stuff going on with
Oh yeah, your trial thing.
Yeah.
Is that okay now? Did everything turn out okay? If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine too. What the hell's a Safeway?
It's a grocery store.
Is that it sounds like a gas station. Is it a gas station?
It's like a major.
Is that like a Super America?
No, well they have gas stations, but think of I think Pick and Save might be part of the Safeway family.
Oh. Thank you for the follow, Inky. So, Kinetic, when were you in the Midwest? I don't know if we talked about this or not. Like, are you from the Midwest originally?
They own bonds.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been into that. I don't know what that is.
Food Lion.
Really?
There's one called Food Lion.
Really? Wow. It's a roar of a deal or something. Shut up.
Oh, Publix.
Oh, you were born in Colorado. Cool.
Colorado. So is Mike.
He
Alex.
got away with it? Oh, no.
Ah, damn.
Paladin, I'm sorry.
That's crazy, dude.
Oh, I'm pissed off for you, dude. What part of Wisconsin, Kinetic? Did we talk about that? I feel like a dick. I talked to so many people this weekend, though. What
He
really
had said,
sucks...
yeah.
What really sucks is you get people that come up to you at the end of the con weekend. They're like, hey, so, you know, it went good. It went good. It went better than I thought. And I'm like, oh my god, who is this? Who is this? And do I remember them? They know me really well right now. What's happening? Like, that is the worst part of cons. When people come up and they're like, hey, so how you been? I'm like, good. Real good. Remind me of your name. You know, I'll try to do it right away because... I'm like, Alex, I remember your name at least. That's good. Huh? I called you Rookie at first. That first time I forgot your name.
Rookie, yeah.
Yeah, because I told him, I'm gonna call you Rookie.
That was Sunday morning.
You heard that?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I was walking behind you guys.
Oh, you were.
Yeah.
I mean, Rook is a pretty cool nickname, though, let's be honest. Yes, people that see you from another convention, oh my god, especially when you've like been doing it for years then, like every time we go back to Anime Milwaukee, which is actually a really good con for us, surprisingly enough. We do shit poor at anime cons, but that one's a good one. But I get people now, at least 5 different people that I've seen in the past years now. There's one couple that always buys original art from me. They have a wall of my stuff. They showed it to me this year.
Oh, really?
It was cool, yeah. But they always buy something new from me, and only now is their name sticking. And I mean, I remember them because they're very visually distinct.
It was like Jake and...
It's Jen and Gary.
Jen and Gary. Oh, from...
Amki.
No, but from SpongeBob.
That's
the
how
girl's
she...
name is Jen.
No.
No?
No. It's... She said because his name is Gary, she calls him her snail or whatever because the snail's name is Gary. So I have that now in my head, and her name is Jen, and I picture her in her skunk outfit.
But I thought the... Oh, no, that's Sally, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, DHC. Oh, Paladin. Yeah. Yeah. Karma will get him. Don't worry about it. Right, Pylon? I feel you on that. It's tough, and especially, like, with cons. I used to think I was really good at remembering names and everything, and then I did cons. I'm like, oh my god, this is next level.
Which is funny, because they... I feel like an asshole, because I don't remember people, and I think we make more of an impression of people than
well,
they make
I'm
on
an
us.
elf. They can't forget that.
That's true.
And they're like, oh, you were here last year. I'm like, yep. And they're like, do you remember me? And I mean, they're just in like jeans and a t-shirt. And I'm like, yeah, no. I never lie either. If I don't remember them, I'm like, I'm sorry. No. I go to so many cons. I'm so sorry. Yeah. And I try to tell them, too, if they're like, okay, I'll look you up on Twitch. I'm like, awesome. Just remind me that you're the one wearing the orange shirt with this thing and that thing, and I'll remember. Because that's the only way I'm gonna, you know. Oh, the squirrel's name was Sandy, not Sally.
Sandy.
Yeah. Thank you, Faze. Yeah, if they're in cosplay, sometimes that helps unless they change it throughout the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Then it's like, damn it. Oh well.
See, Paladin. That's why I would never give my kids middle names.
What?
You forgot that his daughter's middle name, and I'm like, man, I don't have a middle name, which is really weird for a Mexican.
That is weird, but is it because you're your dad's, like, you're a 2? You're a junior?
No, I think they just decided not to. None of us have middle names.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
If anyone can guess my middle name and spell it correctly, I will draw something for you. So there's no way you can
Here we
actually
go.
figure it out.
This is
I mean, it is kind of a hard one. I mean, you have to spell it correctly, too. I'm not even going to say if you get it. You have to spell it correctly and guess it correctly in the same thing. I'm not giving you any hints. Mexican roommate in college had 7 total names. He was a rich kid from Mexico City with a lot of family history, super upper class, incredibly misogynistic. Really? That sucks.
That sounds normal.
Wow.
Well, it's like, so what they do also is you use your mom's maiden name as your middle name, and then you have a middle name. And then sometimes, if you're really crazy, you take your dad's maiden name and your mom's maiden name.
Your dad doesn't have a maiden name.
No, like your dad's mom's maiden name.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. It's just like to help track lineage or some shit. I don't know.
Wow.
That's what I'm
I
assuming.
didn't know that. That's crazy.
That's what I'm assuming they do that for.
God, if we did that, our names would sound horrible. At least yours almost rhyme,
Uh-huh.
you know? Because they all have similar, like, it's almost a poem when you say it, or a rap. With ours, it's like, if the mom thing was true, my middle name would be Wilkinson.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, and then if
Yeah.
you add other sons,
Yeah.
except my great-grandma's last name, I think, was Foot.
That's cool.
Like Foot. Lilowin. Thank you, Artemis. I wish. That'd be beautiful. Jenny vibes? No. I'm not a Jenny. Need someone to yell at me right now. I vote you, Clover. Yes! I keep comparing myself to artists with vastly more experience. You know better. That's it. I don't even need to yell at you. You know better. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. You just know it. Really. I mean, don't compare yourself to anyone else, because everybody's had different journeys than you. Same thing with original ideas, okay? If everybody drew or wrote the same thing in the entire world, all of them would be different. Because everybody has a different background, everybody has a different perception of the world, different experiences, all that stuff. And because of that, every single thing will be different. So you having a different art journey especially, you know, and starting where you are and all that stuff, never compare yourself to other people, because you're always going to be disappointed. Because think about Richie Rich next door, who's had pampering and all the art school training and whatever. He might be good, but he might not be as driven as you are. You might draw more than him, and right now you might suck. But in 2 years, you'll probably be past him, because you're drawing so much more than him, that you'll be better. So just take solace and have faith in yourself, you know, and just keep at it. I think the hardest thing for artists is to believe in themselves and to have faith that they will get better. And that's the problem. That's why people give up. They don't have faith in themselves, and they don't trust their own abilities. And usually it's the people who are self-driven who are going to be the ones to make it. So you have to find out how to learn to drive.
Well, I guess it would be nice.
Learn to drive. I guess that's the best experience and, you know, advice I could give you, is just learn to drive and be self-driven. Because so many people don't know how to do that, or they don't care to. That's the other problem.
Yeah.
How much do you care? You know, how much does anyone care? Because it's gonna reflect in what you do and, you know, your quality of your work. Obviously, if Gabe and I are drawing all the time, we care a lot. You know, this means a lot to us. This is our life. This is how we make money, and this is how we want to die. Is this how you want to die, like doing this? How do you want to die? Think about it. But think about it super lightly, you know? if possible. I think it's good to have those kind of reality checks without getting too far into it, you know? What's your ideal death? You know? I was actually thinking on the plane last night, and I was like, I really hope I die during the day. Like, no matter what age I am, anything like that, I hope I die during the day. Like when it's sunny out or raining or something. I want to be able to see things. I don't want to die at night. I especially don't really want to die in my sleep.
Well, then you don't even know it.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Okay. Catherine, Juliet, Caitlin. Oh, this is fun. Karina. Rosalind. That's pretty. Edith. Awesome. No. Oh, so Progdor, you're the same as me. I have no patience either. So that you can use as a strength. Our weakness is also our strength. So don't take patience as a bad thing. That might mean you're a quick, like, artist like Gabe and I. Okay? We don't have the patience to sit down for hours and hours and hours and pump out one thing. You know? No. Use that as an advantage and pump out lots of shit. Get lots of ideas. Do a lot of studies. Do things like that and just go and keep pumping it out. No, use it as a strength. Because if you think about it, every strength can be a weakness and vice versa. Perspective, you know. I have no idea what that says. Holy shit. This is another language. That is straight up Arabic. I do not know what that means. Joanne, LOL. You don't want to die naked? Why not? Do you have body issues? Come on. We're all made beautiful. People just have questions. Well, I don't know. Oh, you banned him?
That wasn't good.
It wasn't good?
No.
What did he say?
It was like, fuck your mother cunt or something. It was a bunch of swears, yeah.
Really? Oh, well, I guess the end of their name is Smoking a Blunt. This is the most I've had trolls in a while. I want to die crashing my Lamborghini in a strip club. Witness! Witness! What was that? It was a stand-up comic who was like, I want to die flipping my Corvette. Or no, it was a grandma. Yeah, Grandpa died flipping his Corvette with 2 chicks in the car and blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's how you want to go out. USS Enterprise like Spock. Cool, man.
I don't even know what that means. What happened?
He just wants to die epic. Talia, Corinne, Olith, Celine.
Talia? Really?
I'm really surprised you guys are going way, like, these are very specific. I like all these names, though. They're all pretty. They almost sound Welsh or Gaelic. That's crazy. You're very not close. I'll give you that much. And I'm not going to tell you how many letters it is either, because I think that would kind of narrow it down.
Drastically.
I almost hope someone makes it their, like, endeavor now to do this. Vivian. That's such a pretty name. Laura, Logan, Lydia. I still love Lydia. No. Nope. No Lauren, no Laura. Everybody's on L's. Interesting. Lenny. Yeah, that's it. Nailed it. No. Oh, is it Nightshade? Obviously that's how you'd want to go out. I know you. Don't go to Lake Minnetonka. Jane. Nope.
Bathed in the rivers of Lake Minnetonka.
Artemis, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Eliza, Mary. No, but Mary was my mom's name. See, my mom's name was Mary Jane, but that was her, like, full first name. She didn't have a middle name because her actual name was Mary Jane. I thought that was interesting when she told me that. Gabbo, I was bored at work and I drew a robot because you draw robots. Aw.
Good for you.
Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
I mean, I know you're not imitating me, but I'm glad that you tried the robot.
He's inspired by you.
That's great, dude.
Inspired by you. That's love. A Siobhan? Wow.
Siobhan?
Awesome, Alex. It was great having you here
Oh,
again.
yeah, dude.
Thank you for dealing with us once more. I hope you sleep well. Thank you.
Man.
Hopefully we'll see you soon. Mariana, nope. Annette, nope. Astrid, nope. I still like Astrid. I actually knew an Astrid in high
Oh,
school.
did you see the How to Train Your Dragon troop?
True?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
Astrid
I saw
and
one.
it was Astrid and
Hiccup?
yeah.
Yeah.
But he had a sword that had the
The flame?
yeah, but it had you know, like the pillows where you go right? Where like
Pillows?
like Tim's pillow where you move your hand on it.
Oh, yeah, the mermaid
Yeah,
scales.
it had that, so it was black on one side.
Oh,
and then
that's sick.
Yeah, he went like this. He went, and it turned red, and I was like, wow.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
Oh, I dig it. Artemis, I love it. That's beautiful. Marigold, Marlena. Nope. Bjorg. Nope.
Hello, my name is
I would love if it was
Bjorg.
Bjorg. Astra's the only female name my wife and I agree on if we have a daughter. It's pretty cute, honestly. I do like it. See, now I'm going back and doing spot blacks. Did you turn it off?
Turned it down.
Okay, I was gonna say, shit, I'm
It's
warm.
getting hot, yeah.
I know it because the book, something, something, dog in the nighttime. I got nothing. Camilla, nope. I'm surprised you guys aren't going with more basic, like, American middle names.
Remember, she's from Minnesota.
I'm from Minnesota.
Born to some basic bitch 80s parents.
White family. White middle class, semi-poor family. With alcoholism.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised they haven't tried, like, Crystal Lynn, Crystal Lee, Crystal Tammy, Tammy Lynn.
Don't give them any ideas.
No, I know,
They're
but you know
supposed
what
to
I mean.
go.
Like,
Curious Case of the Dog in the Night. I've never heard that. Birdeth. Are these all overseas middle names? Like common middle names? Is it even an English name? What does English name mean?
it's definitely not a Mexican name.
It's not Jennifer or Tiffany. Those are both first names.
Tiffiner. What is it? I changed my name to
Tinnifer.
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 My brand coach said I need to reinvent myself.
I think it's so funny. I finally realized they were probably doing common overseas middle names.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what are these names?
Agnitha?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Birdeth. Tinnifer.
Oh, badass Viking middle name? I wish. Honestly, a lot of us who have like Anderson, Hansen, Gunderson, Henderson, Thompson, Swanson, all the sons are super basic. Like, usually it's like Tom, Tyler, Ted, you know, Aaron.
Aaron Todd
Annabelle.
Johnson.
I bet you guys are actually looking at a page now. You Googled, like, American middle names. That's cheating, BT dubs. If you're just pasting what you're reading, that's cheating. Use your brain.
I'm curious, does Michelle know your middle name?
She probably doesn't remember it.
Oh. I could see her scouring like books and documents and shit at her house.
Eric Sorensen, but my parents were cruel and decided to name me Peter. I like Peter, though. Eric is cool, but all the Erics I know are kind of douchey. So, maybe you dodged a bullet, Nightshade. Kenneth. Yeah, it's not bad, though, Progdor, honestly. I think a name like Tom or John or Dave are a little worse. Mary Beth? Nope. Lisa, Susan? Nope. Maybe mine isn't as common as I thought. Hooray!
No,
Karen.
100% I don't think it is.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I knew probably. I mean, my aunt has the same middle name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think.
Weird.
Well, I think it's because my great aunt has that middle name.
Yeah.
So I think now that Katie, nope. Donna, Linda, nope. Kathy, Karen, nope. Nicole, Marie, Lena, Madonna, Susan. Nope. This is great. I should do this every, have a trivia question or some crap.
Well, no, I think you can keep doing this until someone actually gets it. This feels like
I think they could find it.
It feels
Oh, that's
like
weird. Pylon just said Leslie.
You know, in
No.
what's it called? Like a radio show thing.
Yeah, by the end of this blah, call in. Benneth. No. Is that a girl's name?
Bennett.
Benneth?
Oh, Bennett.
Gladys. Oh, I wish. I've known so many Gladyses because I worked at a nursing home. Dolores, Veronica. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope. I hope this is fun for you guys. Charlotte. No, but it's pretty. Lindsay. Nope. This is just a reminder too, if you guys ever take any style hints or anything from anyone, let's say you did wood grain like this on a piece, or whatever, be like, oh yeah, I wanted to, try something I saw Cloverkin doing and blah blah blah. Give credit where it's due. Because let's say I saw it and I knew you probably lifted it from me, it's gonna make you look like a jerk, like you stole it. So remember, if you actually take a cue from someone, give them the credit, give them the views, help them out a bit, because we're all in this together. So if I ever took something from any of you, I'd credit you. I always credit Gabe when I talk about things he said. It just makes you look so much better as a human to credit people and less selfish, I think it's a really good trait in people. When I see that people credit others, it's really heartwarming to me. Makes me feel good for them, Anyway. Let's see. Charlotte, Lynn, Joanna, Pauline, Josephine, Gladys, Deborah, Nefertiti, Sandra, Brenda, Larissa, Cynthia, Nicole, Melissa, Deborah. You know what sucks? Even if you guys stumble it, you'll have to remember to spell it right. So I won't be able to tell you if you got it and if you spelled it right or not. So far, no one's done either, so you're still far off. Ginger. Oh.
That's cute.
Oh, no. Yeah, Progdor. Top notch. You're a good human. Rizza. Gizza. Jizza. You got it. Ghostface Killa. Long you got it. It's Ghostface Killa. I'm a rapper. I'm a big black man rapper. Amy. ODB. Elizabeth. No. Oh, Sagi, I'm surprised I haven't told you. I figured you might be one of the ones that knows. Okay, if you do know somehow, don't say anything. Erica, Alexandra. No. Those are usually first names, like Alexandra, Christine, Lizette, that's pretty. Alexia, Olivia, Alexis. Wow. No. I'm having so much fun with this. I don't know why. You know what would have been mean? If you said, guess my middle name.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have one. Erica, Melissa. No. It would suck if it was Erica. Ashley, Erica, Erickson? No. I'm sure someone's named Erica, Eric, a guy named Erickson or something. Erickson. That would suck. Charlotte, Emma, Brooke, Maya, Evelyn, Winona. Nope.
Winona.
That's smart though. Manana,
Manana.
Samantha.
They call me Manana.
Hello, John LaStudio.
John.
You're gonna see a lot of names being thrown in the chat right now. People are trying to guess my middle name.
John, I saw you stream the other day. Boy, and I missed it. I think we were traveling while you were streaming. We just got back from Florida.
See, Sagi probably has the best semblance of what a Midwest middle name is, I'm guessing. Alexis. Nope, sorry, Katie. Eric Erickson is now an incoming name. Erickson of Eric. I know, right? So, I'm an Erickson. I know.
Oh, John, did you get into,
Wachi-wee? No.
What the fuck?
No.
John, did you get into, TwitchCon?
Oh yeah, we got the thingies that said no.
The wait list.
Yeah, but their wait list is interesting. I've never seen a con number people.
I like it.
I do too, kind of, but it also tells me that I don't have a chance. I'm at the bottom.
But also it shows me that we do have a chance because I'm 5 people away from, or I'm the 5th in line, I guess. So if I get in, then that means Ashley's going.
The show was okay. We broke even, but I learned I hate Florida with an ever-loving passion. And it was worth it, though, because we met so many cool people there. Like, that was really the only reason it was good. Sagi, that's fair. I knew a lot of middle name Nicoles, too. Abigail, Elizabeth. Good try, Spylon. I'm a generation before you, so it's not as easy. It's true. Louise, nice try. Jade, Jemima. Okay, John, so you got in. Yeah, we didn't get in.
Cool. Well, I know that they took,
We did update to table together, yeah.
yeah. They did, take, what's it called, I think Partners had first, run at it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think that's true. See, I think I screwed up on mine, though, because I tried to make it so we tabled together by writing it in, but I forgot to change the other thing, but I don't think I can go back. I mean, I might get to, but... I've heard Marie. A lot of people have Marie. Marie, Lee, Sue, a lot of people have those. Those are kind of the Midwest middle names. Sarah, no.
Are you gonna do it, though?
Yeah,
John?
John, are you gonna go? I mean, it's kind of in his backyard, though, isn't it?
Because if you don't go, then I'm not even gonna think about it. I'm not even gonna fucking fuck that.
He's not even gonna fuck that.
I'm not even gonna fucking fuck that.
Look it. Twitch needs you both. Aw, John.
Sweetheart.
Oh no, Nightshade, no. Leah, no. Mia, no.
Oh, man.
What?
Nothing.
Mia?
Yeah.
Anna Maria, Lee, no. Aw, John, shut up. Whatever. Aubrey, Chloe, Violet, Heather, Kayla. I bet this makes me look super popular though right now. So many comments. Ooh. Kayla, Jessica, Destiny. Give us a letter. I can't. If I give you a letter, I think that'll narrow it too much.
No, you could literally just give them a letter. You're not telling them which letter it is. I mean, you could give them the first letter, I think.
How about I say it's in the middle of the alphabet? Does that help?
What?
That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh. The letter is in the middle of it?
Yeah. So that should kind of narrow it down. Shaquisha. Valhalla. I wish. Jesus. That'd be great.
Is it Orangelo?
Or Brangelo.
Or Lamangelo?
Range Rover. Nailed it.
Fuck yeah.
Shaniqua. She don't live here no more. Gertrude, Lila, Ilda, and Diane LaShonda. No. Ellie, no.
I knew a girl named Shaniqua.
For reals?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did she like the song when it came out?
I guess.
Did she?
I don't know.
I think a lot of people who had songs written about their names like didn't like it. Like, my mom loved Jesse's Girl, but my dad hated it. McFlurry. Yes.
Yes.
Michelle, Hesse, Miriam, Claire. Long I said middle of the alphabet. Tell us more, Gabe. John, I love that you can use your face as an emoji. Like, I get that in my Discord, but to do it in Twitch feels like a totally different thing. Chow Chow, thank you for the follow. Hello. Meredith, you guys, it's obviously Milady. Up! Liza wins!
Oh my god.
Eliza wins! M-A-E. It's actually my initials rearranged. Whoa! Yes, Sniggle, we are. Eliza got it. Eliza, I'll do a warm-up drawing on Thursday of whatever you want. How's that sound? I can't promise I'll send it to you, but I'll do it. How about that? FaZe, Eliza won. Here. It's actually kind of a common middle name. My parents are shit at spelling. I don't know. How many people can say their middle name is their initials rearranged? I think it's kind of cool. Just saying. However, when I was McLaughlin, then it was like ma'am. Thanks, John. So, Eliza, if you're going to be on my channel on Thursday's stream, or if you even want to tell me now what you'd want me to draw, I can draw it. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be great. It's going to probably be a warm-up. But it'll be whatever you want. Faye would be cooler. Agreed. But... Ah! Oh, Sniggle! Shit! Shots fired. Damn. Really, Paladin? Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Man. Okay. I don't know how much I actually want to do to parts of this. I think it's basically done, so I'm gonna erase part of it. Erasing, like, pencils from my line work is, like, kind of some of my fun. I met you at SuperCon. Chow Chow, really? Okay, did I tell you what to tell me so I'd remember you? Sometimes I do that, like, if you come to my Twitch channel, remind me you were wearing this, this, and this, and I'll try to remember you. Was there anything that was really memorable about what you were either wearing or what we talked about? So I can try to remember you? Thank you for coming either way. I'm going to be ending it soon because I started streaming probably 3.5 hours ago, but I will be streaming again Thursday at 4 p.m. Central, so how many hours from now backwards? 8?
It would be 5
Yeah,
p.m.
eight. No.
Eastern time.
Yeah, but 8 hours ago for now. On Thursday. Bye, Pylon. Thanks for coming.
Bye, dude.
Bye, Sniggle. Thanks for coming.
Bye, man.
We're going to be leaving, too. So, Eliza, if there's something you want me to draw, let me know. Oh, by the way, says Sniggle, what? Every time I see that, though, it's almost like Breath of the Wild. You just want to buy taquitos? To be fair, that's a good thing to, you know,
right,
drag
man.
your ass out of the house for.
Oh, yeah.
Really bright orange shirt. Yes. Yes. Though I did talk to a lot of people about that. But I told you to, I think I even brought this up earlier in the stream. I said, you know, tell me you're wearing a bright orange shirt if I follow you, you know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I think I do remember. Oh, I really suggest watching this stream over again when we end. If you want kind of a bunch of what we normally talk about, Chow Chow, to actually, like, when this stream ends, go back in my videos, and if you're looking for some motivation or something right now, this stream was actually a pretty good one. I went over a lot of topics. I went over a lot of like tips and stuff. It was actually a pretty good stream. So I highly recommend going over this one again. Eliza likes fairies. It might be my kind of fairy. I don't like traditional ones, to be honest. Can I draw a fairy? I will draw you a fairy. Yes. You got it, Eliza. You got it. Dude, I totally miss taquitos. I love taquitos so much.
Make some tomorrow.
How are we gonna do that?
Deep fry some shit.
I don't know how to do that.
Deep fry?
Yeah, I've never actually deep fried anything. Dude, if your mom used to do it, that'd be awesome. 'Cause you
Really
don't
easy.
know how. Yeah, but then you gotta measure out the oil for me. You know, you still have to have a smoothie, by the way.
I had a shit ton of protein today.
I don't know, man.
I bet.
I don't know.
I think so.
I don't think so.
Because I did, like, I had a whole can of chili and the
Did
thing.
you actually look at the stuff, though? Like, how much is in it?
No.
Yeah. Have a thing. It could be tasty. Get yourself amped. Exactly. Progdor, I'm very with you on that. Usually my fairies have, like, bird wings or, kind of look more like a creature, like you're saying, or insect-like. Okay, Eliza, cool. Alright, so we're gonna end now because I've been streaming for like, what, 9, 10, 11, 12, 3.5 hours. So, 8 hours backwards from now, on Thursday, I'll be streaming again. And tomorrow, for anybody that wants to see like how Gabe does this stuff. Let's see. You're gonna be doing markers tomorrow?
Oh, actually, yeah, I'm gonna be here if you want to.
If anybody likes kind of Gabe stuff here,
Probably show all of these because these are basically what I'm working on.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so while Gabe was at his booth this weekend, he was drawing these things all weekend.
So I got like 20 of them. I got to color it like that. So I'll be showing you how to sort of use a limited color palette with just 3 markers. I did all that with just 3 markers. So I'll show you how to do that.
So this will be tomorrow, 4 p.m. CST on Gabe's stream, which is under the name that's on his face. So, if anybody's interested in that. Awesome, Paladin. Congrats, Eliza, you got it.
Did it.
You did it. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, right? Thanks so much for coming, and for those of you who came here from SuperCon, thank you so much for actually following through. I appreciate that so much, and I look forward to getting to know you. Alright? So, we'll see you guys tomorrow or Thursday, alright? Take care. Bye!